Chapter 1001 Yichun vs. Blood-Flying Yin. Only 2 people have entered the 6th region. Everyone in the safe zone looked at the number on the light screen, their mind and spirit shaken. This time, there were as many as 162 people at or below the Dominion realm who entered the ancient Forbidden Grounds. At this moment, only over 40 people feared the danger and chose to teleport to the safe zone, while only 2 others continued to roam in the 6th region. This means that all the missing people have died in the earlier regions. Over 100 elite warriors have perished. So many have died. The surviving members of the Nine Flames clan and Bloodwing clan felt a deep and complex mix of emotions. They knew that these people either died from the inherent dangers of the ancient Forbidden Grounds or in the mutual slaughter between the clans. In any case, these were all elite members of the clans, who have thus fallen. At this time, the surviving 40-plus people were more concerned with one thing. Who are the only 2 who broke into the 6th region? Only those 2 who are still exploring have any hope of contending for the unsurpassed divine fire. The 2 who ventured into the 6th region must be our Bloodwing clans Shuling Chan and Blood-Flying Yin, declared a confident strong man from the Bloodwing clan. His words made many familiar with the prowess of Shuling Chan, and Blood-Flying Yin nod repeatedly. But just those who had been with Blood-Flying Yin, yet in the end only Blood-Flying Yin could reach the 6th region, while they could only teleport back to the safe zone, directly shouted, "Blood-Flying Yin entered the 6th region. The 3 of us were just in the same parallel space in the 5th region with her. We saw with our own eyes her being teleported to the 6th region." The words of these 3 people caused many in the field to take a deep breath. 3 people witnessed it, so it must be true. The identity of one of the 2 who entered the 6th region was confirmed. Blood-Flying Yin. Who is the other person? An upper immortal divine venerable from the Nine Flames clan frowned and asked. The people looked toward the last 2 from the Nine Flames clan who had come out from the 5th region. These 2, with bleak expressions, shook their heads. "We had a total of 3 people enter a parallel space in the 5th region, but Huashu died directly at the hands of the exotic beast, Snowflame Toad, in the 5th region, and only the 2 of us managed to escape. In our parallel space, 1 died, 2 escaped, and no one entered the 6th region." The words of these 2 once again caused a stir in the field. The Bloodwing clan people shouted. The 5th region is divided into 3 parallel spaces in total. Just now, Ling Chan said they 4 entered 1 parallel space, and only Blood-Flying Yin entered the 6th region. Nine Flames clan also had 3 people enter another parallel space, ultimately resulting in 1 death and 2 escapes, with no one entering the 6th region. This means that the other person who went into the 6th region is from the 3rd parallel space. Is there anyone who came out of the 3rd parallel space? Everyone looked solemn and shook their heads. Shuling Chan wasn't seen in the 2 parallel spaces of the 5th region, so he must have entered the 3rd parallel space and finally broke into the 6th region from this parallel space. It must be him. Analyzing the distribution of entrants in the 5th region, a member of the Bloodwing clan shouted. The words of the Bloodwing clan member made the faces of everyone in the Nine Flames clan change drastically. Could it be that the people who entered the 6th region are indeed the 2 great powerhouses of the Bloodwing clan? The people of the Nine Flames clan were reluctant to believe it. However, they had no choice but to accept it. Their most formidable members had all returned with broken wings in a parallel space of the 5th region. Others basically had no chance of reaching the 6th region. And the 2 strongest masters of the Bloodwing clan, Shuling Chan and Blood-Flying Yin, had not appeared yet, indeed increasing the likelihood that they are the ones who entered the 6th region. In the crowd, Kai Menger and Kai Shower exchanged a glance, both thinking of something. Yichun definitely entered the 5th region, but he didn't encounter our 3 clansmen or the group of 4 with Blood-Flying Yin, which means he most likely entered that 3rd parallel space. The Bloodwing clan said that formidable Shuling Chan also entered the 3rd parallel space, so it's very likely that Yichun encountered them. The Bloodwing clan people believed that it was Shuling Chan who emerged triumphantly from that parallel space and broke into the 6th region. But Kai Menger and Kai Shower, the 2 sisters, had a feeling that the one who fought his way out of the 3rd parallel space was probably Yichun. I believe it was Yi Chun who broke into the 6th region. Even if the Bloodwing clan says Shuling Chan is formidable, they do not know that Yi Chun is even more formidable. If Shuling Chan and Yi Chun meet, Yi Chun will not lose. Kai Shower clenched her little fists tightly. Kai Menger looked with her beautiful eyes towards the vast world of the ancient forbidden grounds. Yi Chun said he would be fine, and I also believe it's him still breaking through. The Bloodwing clan members are certain that Blood-Flying Yen and Shuling Chan are the two who ventured into the 6th region. Kai Menger and Kai Shower, on the other hand, believe that Yi Chun must have charged into the 6th region. However, what they don't know is that Shuling Chan had already died at Yi Chun's hands, and Yi Chun had entered the 6th region even earlier than Blood-Flying Yen. Indeed, just as Kai Menger and Kai Shower believed, it was Yi Chun who charged into the 6th region. Yi Chun and Blood-Flying Yen became the only two still adventuring. Upon entering the 6th region, Yi Chun discovered that he had arrived on a massive platform. The platform was black, engraved with countless strange, dark red patterns. After Yi Chun took a full circuit around this enormous platform, he shockingly found that the space he could move within the 6th region was only this massive black platform spanning 100,000 feet. It was as if the rest of the 6th region was sealed. Could it be that the 6th region is to be adventured here? According to the 9 Beasts Cauldron's guidance, upon reaching the 6th region, one must face the attack of the 6th type of exotic beast, a beast known as the Burning Fire Crow. Furthermore, the item to obtain in the 6th region is the Black 9 Mystery Silk. How should the Burning Fire Crow and the Black 9 Mystery Silk be obtained? Yi Chun gazed at the 9 Beasts Cauldron in his hand, where the 6th diagram, an unusual crow exotic beast pattern, was emitting an inexplicable cold light. Yet Yi Chun was not in a hurry. With the experience of dealing with the Snowflame Toad in the 5th region, Yi Chun knew that regardless of changes, the 6th exotic beast would appear sooner or later. Yi Chun decided to continue moving around the massive black platform and wait. According to the ancient Steel's instructions, the first 3 regions have 9 days of exploration time, and the 10th day allows entry into the 4th region. The exploration time for the 4th region to the 6th region is limited from the 10th day to the 18th day. The 19th day allows entry into the 7th region. For the final part from the 7th region to the 9th region, exploration is possible from the 19th day to the 27th day. The remaining 3 days are for retrieving the unsurpassed divine fire from the ancient temple. The month-long exploration time in the ancient forbidden grounds allocates 3 regions every 9 days, completing 9 regions within 27 days, leaving 3 days for entry into the ancient temple. This arrangement is quite ingenious. Since entering the ancient forbidden grounds, it's the 14th day, so there are still 4 to 5 days available for use in the 6th region. Yi Chun then looked at the beast spirit and 9 mystery silk already in hand. From the 1st region to the 5th region, he successively obtained the fire-winged tusked beast spirit and fire red 9 mystery silk, flame-devouring demon spider beast spirit, and blue 9 mystery silk, heart-piercing rat beast spirit, and brown 9 mystery silk, god-devouring caterpillar beast spirit, and gray 9 mystery silk, and snowflame toad beast spirit, and silver 9 mystery silk. All 5 beast spirits are in possession. All 5 9 spots 9 mystery silks have been acquired. Only 4 beast spirits and 4 9 mystery silks remain to be obtained. Having completed most of the task, Yi Chun felt a great sense of accomplishment in his heart. The 6th exotic beast, Burning Fire Crow, and the 6th 9 mystery silk, Black 9 mystery silk. I wonder in what manner they will appear. Yi Chun couldn't help but ponder again. As Yi Chun moved about, pondered, and waited, several hours later, a divine light suddenly flashed in one corner of the massive black platform. Yi Chun immediately gathered his mind and looked towards that corner. At this moment, Yi Chun saw a woman appearing in that corner. This woman was extremely beautiful, but her eyebrows were narrow and long, carrying a naturally chilling demeanor that made others very uncomfortable. Although Yi Chun had never seen this woman, he immediately recognized her. Blood-Flying Yen. This woman was indeed the person Yi-chan learned from Shuling Chan's soul search memory, trained by the Blood Origin Divine Master. Another member of the Blood Wing clan, the woman whom Shuling Chan feared. Blood Flying Yen indeed ventured into the 6th region. Yi-chan thought to himself. Just as Blood Flying Yen transmitted from the 5th region to the 6th region, she saw herself appearing on a large black platform and showed a look of surprise. Then, she noticed Yi-chan examining her. A foreign race's divine king, able to enter the 6th region like me. Seeing Yi-chan here truly shocked Blood Flying Yen. Chapter 1002 Furnace, Black Crow, Malice. Blood Flying Yen had considered encountering Shuling Chan or other formidable figures at the 6th realm. Yet she never anticipated meeting a foreign divine king she had hardly noticed before. This foreign divine king is definitely extraordinary. Otherwise, he absolutely couldn't have reached the 6th realm. Blood Flying Yen, being rather calculating, quickly regained her composure from surprise, suppressing her astonishment. She managed a slight smile at Yi-chan, nodding slightly. However, she wasn't familiar with Yi-chan and didn't initiate conversation with him. Upon seeing Blood Flying Yan's expression, Yi-chan also nodded at her. Naturally, Yi-chan wouldn't proactively converse with this Blood Flying Yen either. On one hand, Yi-chan felt no affinity for the Blood Wing clan, and on the other hand, he had come to understand from Shuling Chan's divine soul memory that Blood Flying Yen was incredibly ruthless. He wasn't swayed by Blood Flying Yan's smile and had been wary of her since first sight. After the two individuals who entered the 6th realm acknowledged each other with nods, they began examining the massive platform's surroundings. Soon, the changes within the 6th realm that Yi-chan was waiting for finally arrived. As if sensing the arrival of those capable of entering, an earth-shattering roar suddenly emerged from the void above the 100,000 zhong enormous black platform. Swish! Swish! Yi-chan and Blood Flying Yen abruptly halted their steps, directing their gaze towards the void. Upon arriving, Blood Flying Yen discovered that moving through the void was similarly obstructed by a mysterious power, allowing flight in only a small area. Previously, she hadn't noticed anything special in the void, but now the changes had originated from the void. Yi-chan had certainly inspected the expanse above void heaven as well. At this moment, he closely watched the thundering void, eyes glittering. As they both focused on the void, an anomaly occurred. The entire void above the 100,000 zhong enormous black platform seemed to be violently torn apart. Amidst blinding light so terrifying that even Yi-chan trembled, with two resounding bangs, two gigantic objects, each 100 zhong high, fell from the void, eventually landing precisely on the massive platform, standing dozens of zhong apart. At the moment these enormous objects fell, Yi-chan and Blood Flying Yen recognized them as two gigantic furnaces. The two furnaces were entirely dark in color, matching the enormous platform's hue. Unlike the platform, which bore countless strange dark red patterns, the furnaces were engraved with numerous dark red demon motifs. Upon closer inspection, Yi-chan realized these demon motifs were none other than the burning fire crow patterns depicted on the 9 Beasts Cauldron. Could it be that the burning fire crow patterns on these furnaces will unleash the burning fire crow exotic beasts to attack us?
Yi-chan yandered.
Blood Flying Yen also pondered. Is it that this 6th realm requires dealing with the exotic beasts emerging from these patterns? However, both thoughts were incorrect. From the hundreds of burning fire crow patterns spread across the 100 zhong high furnaces, no burning fire crow exotic beast attacked them. Instead, each furnace emitted a mysterious divine light, enveloping Yi-chan and Blood Flying Yen respectively. The speed of this mysterious divine light was incredibly fast. Even with the exceptional combat power of Blood Flying Yen and Yi-chan, there was no time to evade. In an instant, they were enveloped by the divine light. After a long while, the two clusters of divine light gradually dissipated, revealing the figures of Yi-chan and Blood Flying Yen once more. Their eyes flashed with intense gleams. In those moments encased by the divine light, they finally understood how to slay the burning fire crow and seize the beast spirit in this 6th realm. and how to obtain the black 9-string silk. Those divine lights that respectively enveloped them were, in fact, conveying information about this realm. So, everything in the sixth realm is connected to the giant furnaces before us. Just now, the divine light transmitted a method for refining the black 9-string silk. This sixth type of black 9-string silk must be refined by oneself within the furnace. Throughout the refining process, one's entire divine soul will face continuous assault from the burning fire crow within the furnace, and the attacks will become increasingly fierce. Only by enduring 3 straight days of burning fire crow attacks can the highest level 9-spotted black 9-string silk ultimately be refined. During the process, if the burning fire crow attacks cannot be endured, the divine soul might be extinguished directly on the spot. Should one prematurely abandon refining the black 9-string silk, the highest level 9-spotted black 9-string silk will absolutely not be attained. Without the 9-spotted black 9-string silk, it is impossible to enter the 7th realm from the 6th realm. To enter the 7th realm, one must withstand all attacks from the burning fire crow and thoroughly refine the 9-spotted black 9-string silk. Understanding the rules of the 6th realm, Yi Chun directed his gaze toward one of the 2 furnaces nearest to him. Meanwhile, Blood-Flying Yen also looked toward the other furnace. Before commencing the refining of black 9-string silk, Blood-Flying Yen surprisingly spoke to Yi Chun. Blood-Flying Yen said to Yi Chun, "Fellow Taoist, since refining the 9-spotted black 9-string silk is necessary to pass, how about we each rely on our abilities to venture through without interference from each other?" Yi Chun glanced at Xue Fian, smiled faintly, and nodded, "That's good." Seeing Yi Chun agree, Xue Fian also smiled. "Then, fellow Taoist, you can refine at the furnace closer to your left, and I will refine at the furnace on the right."
Ye Chen nodded.
The 2 furnaces were identical, so it made no difference where they were. Seeing Yi Chun nod, Xue Fian stopped speaking and first sat cross-legged by the furnace on the right. Yi Chun also sat down cross-legged by the furnace on the left. The 2 were separated by dozens of feet, each facing a massive black furnace 100 feet high in front of them. In an instant, the 2 entered their respective refining states. On Yi Chen's side, although he agreed to Xue Fian's proposal of non-interference, Yi Chun certainly would not completely trust Xue Fian. Not to mention that he already knew from Shuling Chan's divine soul memory that Xue Fian was a scheming person who must be guarded against. Even if they were strangers, Yi Chun could not fully trust the other party. Yi Chun directly split a part of his divine sense to guard outside, even in a way that Xue Fian was completely unaware of, deploying a divine object to protect himself. Then, Yi Chun allowed his divine soul to immerse into the furnace. On the other side, as Xue Fian sensed Yi Chun entering the refining state, a cold smile emerged from deep within her mind. "My target is the unsurpassed divine fire. No matter what, this divine king must not contend with me. For him to reach the 6th domain, he must be extraordinary, so ordinary methods surely won't work against him. I must find the best opportunity to strike. I definitely can't let him acquire the 9 profound threads with 9 spots. The refining of the 9 profound threads in this 6th domain furnace, dealing with the attacking burning fire crows, all largely relate to divine soul power. Others do not know, but my strongest methods are divine soul techniques." From the start, Xue Fian indeed never planned on mutual non-interference with Yi Chun. Deep down, her intent was directly inclined towards attacking Yi Chun. Both remained prepared, gradually entering the refinement of the black 9 profound threads. The moment Yi Chen's divine soul entered the furnace, he felt innumerable fire rune arrays within the furnace. Burn! Yi Chun used the method gained from the divine light to activate the entire furnace. When Yi Chen's divine soul activated the fire rune arrays inside the furnace according to a specific pattern, with a boom, numerous flames burst forth from the fire rune arrays, instantly filling the entire furnace with burning black flames. Yi Chen's divine soul was immediately engulfed in the black flames. The intensity of these flames was terrifying. If it were an ordinary upper immortal divine venerable, or even a powerful upper immortal divine venerable, they would likely be unable to withstand the burning power of these flames, let alone refine the Black Nine profound threads. But Yi Chen's divine soul was extremely powerful. Even though he had split some divine soul power to guard against the outside, the divine soul that entered the furnace was unmatched by others. After all, back at the heavenly God Mountain, Yi Chen absorbed divine soul power from countless purple-silver pearls and elevated his divine soul to an unbelievable blue divine soul level, moving towards the final step of purple divine soul cultivation. In terms of divine soul strength alone, Yi Chen was not weaker than many sovereigns. The burning flames in the furnace had no effect on Yi Chen at all. In mere moments, Yi Chen's divine soul controlled the black flames within the furnace, using the methods taught by the divine light to draw out flame power from the black flames, compressing it to form the Black Nine profound threads. Ga, 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 ga. While Yi Chen was condensing and refining the Black Nine profound threads, strange sounds suddenly resonated within the furnace walls, followed by the sight of 8 burning fire crows, each several feet in size, flapping wings engulfed in black flames, attacking Yi Chen. Burning fire crows? Yi Chen, while refining the Black Nine profound threads with his divine soul, noticed the 8 burning fire crows attacking him. He remained unaffected and, with a swift motion of his divine soul, unleashed the amethyst soul-slaying skills learned in the purple or mystery realm of the heavenly God Mountain towards these burning fire crows. The amethyst soul-slaying skills were immensely powerful divine soul attack methods. Even by stimulating only 1,000th of its full power, Yi Chen instantly obliterated the 8 burning fire crows within the furnace. In the moment they were slain by Yi Chen, the bodies of the burning fire crows vanished immediately, but strands of black threads separated from them and fused into the Black Nine profound threads Yi Chen was refining. With the convergence of black flame strength and the black threads released upon the death of the burning fire crows, the first wisp of faint Black Nine profound threads began to take shape. Chapter 1003 Counterattack. At this moment, the Black Nine mystery silk didn't have a single spot on it. Obviously, it was still far from becoming one-spotted Black Nine mystery silk, let alone the highest level 9-spotted Black Nine mystery silk. This is just the beginning. One must endure the onslaught of flame black crows for 3 full days and also refine the Black Nine mystery silk for 3 full days. Yi Chen was in no hurry, continuing to use the methods from the divine light information to refine the Black Nine mystery silk. On the other side, blood-flying Yen also entered the refining process of Black Nine mystery silk. This woman was indeed someone of key cultivation by the Blood Wing clan, taught divine skills by the Blood Origin Divine Master. Her divine soul power was truly extraordinary. In the furnace she faced, when 8 flame black crows attacked her divine soul, countless threads of bloodlight erupted instantly, immediately slaying the 8 flame black crows in the furnace. Blood-flying Yen merely let out a cold laugh in her heart, and then immersed herself in the refining of the Black Nine mystery silk. A day passed in the blink of an eye. Looking at the furnace Yi Chen faced, one could see that the Black Nine mystery silk in Yi Chen's hand had now turned into a 4-spotted Black Nine mystery silk. At this moment, the entire furnace was filled with the increasingly dense and numerous attacks of flame black crows on Yi Chen. Each batch consisted of dozens to hundreds of them. Even more terrifying was that the soul-killing force of each of these flame black crows far exceeded that of the god-devouring caterpillar and snow-flame toad that Yi Chen faced earlier, as if numerous flames scorching towards Yi Chen's divine soul relentlessly. If someone weaker were in this position, they would have long screamed in madness, or even their divine soul would have been severely injured. However, at this moment, Yi Chen was not affected in the slightest. No matter how many burning fire crows came, Yi Chen instantly slew as many. At the same time, the refinement of the Black Nine mystery silk in Yi Chen's hand continued unabated. Moreover, there was something even blood-flying Yen did not know. At this moment, Yi Chen's divine soul in the furnace began to constantly strengthen. Marvelous, truly marvelous. This furnace actually bears some resemblance to when I trained my divine soul in the heavenly God mountain back then. My divine soul transitioning from a blue divine soul to a purple divine soul can actually progress in this furnace. Yichun couldn't help but be amazed. Back then, the heavenly God mountain was left by the colossal force of cosmic sea, the ancestral God temple, which even had great figures of the divine master realm within, all so extraordinary. Now it seemed that the ancient forbidden grounds were in no way inferior to the heavenly God mountain, and in fact, appeared even more mysterious. This is just the sixth ordinary domain outside the ancient forbidden grounds, and it can already aid in enhancing my divine soul. Enhancing the divine soul sounds simple, but achieving it is immensely difficult. Under normal circumstances, upgrading from a blue divine soul to a purple divine soul would take hundreds to thousands of years of cultivation and require great fortunes. This is why even many 9-star sovereigns have not been able to raise their divine souls to the purple divine soul level. Yet Yichun, ever since elevating his divine soul to the level of blue divine soul in the heavenly God mountain, hadn't been able to further enhance it. Now, in this sixth domain's furnace, within the ancient forbidden grounds, Yichun had unexpectedly found a breakthrough. At the start of the second day of refining Black 9 Mystery Silk, my divine soul also advanced. Judging by this, once I complete the 3 days of refining Black 9 Mystery Silk, I might increase my divine soul strength by 7 to 8 per mil, saving hundreds of years of soul cultivation time. However, enhancing the divine soul strength is also an enormously painful process. Initially, Yichun's divine soul was not much affected. But by the 3rd day of Yichun and Blood-Flying Yan's refining of Black 9 Mystery Silk, not only had the attacks of flame black crows become dozens of times more intense on Yichun, but even his entire divine soul seemed to stir and blaze within the furnace. From the outside, looking at Yichun's body, one could see countless beads of sweat dripping down, making him appear drenched. To Blood-Flying Yan, who'd been secretly observing Yichun, this scene carried a completely different implication. Is this foreign divine king starting to falter? Indeed, it's already the 3rd day of refining Black 9 Mystery Silk. Even I am gradually struggling with the relentless attacks from flame black crows. This divine king, no matter how special, mustn't find it easy either. Blood-Flying Yan's mind stirred, harboring the intent to make a move on Yichun. She'd been waiting for this opportunity. However, Blood-Flying Yan was indeed a person with calculating thoughts. Even though she thought it was a great opportunity, she didn't immediately take action, but continued to wait, waiting for the optimal moment. Time continued to pass. When it reached the afternoon of the 3rd day of refining Black 9 Mystery Silk, both Yichun and Blood-Flying Yan had refined the Black 9 Mystery Silk to the level of 8-spotted Black 9 Mystery Silk. At this moment, Blood-Flying Yan was merely refining the Black 9 Mystery Silk and slaying flame black crows. But Yichun not only was refining Black 9 Mystery Silk and slaying flame black crows, his divine soul's cultivation towards a purple divine soul had also reached the critical juncture. Outside, Yichun's body was completely soaked with sweat, leaving a large wet mark on the ground beneath. In the furnace, Yichun's divine soul emitted a blinding firelight. From the outside, it seemed as if Yichun could not withstand the trial of the fire furnace and was at a moment of extreme difficulty. However, inside the furnace, Yichun's divine soul seemed to want to roar. No matter how painful it was, Yichun genuinely felt the increase in his divine soul strength, which made him almost unable to resist letting out a long howl. At this moment, on the other side, Fei Yan's mind and spirit suddenly stirred. It's now. This is the moment when the Black 9 profound threads progresses from 8 spots to 9 spots. This foreign race divine king has become like this and absolutely cannot spare any attention to defend against my attack. Swoosh! Thinking of this, 8 golden and shining divine nail-like objects instantly erupted from Fei Yan's body. This was surprisingly a divine soul attack marvel given to Fei Yan by the blood origin divine master, falling divine nail. Each falling divine nail could degrade an opponent's combat power by 1 level through a divine soul attack. With all 8 together, Fei Yan was confident to directly degrade Yi Chen's combat power from the level of an upper immortal divine venerable to an ordinary person, or even annihilate Yi Chen's combat power entirely. Fei Yan truly had a mind of relentless malice. In such a situation of refining the Black 9 profound threads inside the furnace, even dropping Yi Chen's combat power by just 1 level was enough to make him unable to withstand the trial of the fire furnace, causing his divine soul to completely disintegrate. Whoosh! 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 The attack of the falling divine nail was extremely swift. They seemed to shuttle through the void, vanishing the instant Fei Yan launched them, and in the next moment, they were already piercing towards Yi Chen. At this time, Yi Chen still seemed immersed in the process of refining the Black 9 profound threads inside the furnace. What Fei Yan didn't know was that at the moment she launched the falling divine nail towards Yi Chen, the divine soul of Yi Chen in the furnace emitting blinding flames suddenly moved vigorously. Instantly, Yi Chen's exterior body also moved dramatically. As expected, couldn't resist attacking me? A voice emerged from Yi Chen's divine soul. In an instant, boom, 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 boom. At the moment the 8 falling divine nails struck Yi Chen, a dazzling purple-silver divine light suddenly erupted from his body. Amid the purple-silver divine light, a mysterious battle armor surfaced directly on Yi Chen's body. Purple-silver battle armor. This armor was, unsurprisingly, a polar sky-level armor called Purple-Silver Battle Armor, created from purple-silver pearl, and given to Yi Chen by the Juan Divine Master during his expedition in the Purple Crystal Divine Mountain, at Heavenly God Mountain. Upon the emergence of the purple-silver battle armor, Yi Chen's divine soul defensive skill, Amethyst Soul Protection skills, was also directly activated. Even the divine nail, a divine object given to Fei Yan by the Blood Origin Divine Master, was directly deflected by Yi Chen's purple-silver battle armor. Seeing this scene, Fei Yan, who originally expected to kill Yi Chen, suddenly went from great joy to great shock. Fei Yan did not expect that the seemingly drenched Yi Chen, who appeared unable to withstand the trial of the fire furnace, exploded with divine soul defensive power that even chilled her to the core at the moment of her attack. "You!" Fei Yan exclaimed in shock, but to her surprise, something unexpected happened. Yi Chen did not waste any words with her and launched a counterattack directly towards her. Boom! From Yi Chen's body, the purple-silver battle armor unleashed a powerful divine soul attack method, the Amethyst Soul Slaying skills. Inside the furnace, Yi Chen used the Amethyst Soul Slaying skills to slay countless burning fire crows. And now, outside the furnace, Yi Chen also used this technique to attack Fei Yan, repaying her attack in kind. Though Yi Chen initially did not intend to attack Fei Yan, since she intended to kill him, he naturally retaliated against this malicious woman without hesitation. Boom! 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 How powerful was the Amethyst Soul Slaying skills? This divine soul attack secret technique. As soon as Yi Chen initiated it, countless blade-like purple radiances, dazzling like knife wings, counterattacked towards Fei Yan. An extraordinary scene unfolded. Mere moments ago, it was Fei Yan who launched 8 falling divine nail attacks at Yi Chen, but moments later, the falling divine nail was deflected, and it was Yi Chen launching countless purple blade radiances of the Amethyst Soul Slaying skills towards Fei Yan. Originally, even if Fei Yan wasn't refining the Black 9 profound threads inside the furnace, it would not have been easy for her to resist Yi Chen's attack, let alone now, when she had to split her attention between defending against both the attacks of the burning fire crows inside the furnace and Yi Chen's Amethyst Soul Slaying skills. Instantly, Fei Yan found herself at a life-or-death moment. Chapter 1004 The Last Person. At this moment, for blood-flying Yen, continuing to refine the Black 9 profound threads, while resisting Yi Chen is absolutely impossible. The only choice before her is to swiftly withdraw her soul from the furnace and fully engage in battle against Yi Chen's attack. Yet even so, she might not be able to block it. It's over. Blood-flying Yan's expression changed drastically, falling into deep regret in an instant. She never expected that in attempting to suddenly assassinate Yi Chun, she would be counterkilled by Yi Chun instead. In this situation, she has no choice but to withdraw her soul from the furnace and resist with all her might. This means, even if she successfully blocks Yi Chun's attack, she will completely lose the opportunity to refine the Black Nine profound threads. After all, once the soul withdraws from the furnace's refinement state, the previous efforts would be wasted entirely. Even if she tries to refine it again later, there wouldn't be enough time. This means that, no matter what, she is completely fated to miss out on the 9 spots Black Nine profound threads. Without the 9 spots Black Nine profound threads, she simply cannot proceed to the 7th territory, let alone seize the final unsurpassed divine fire. Survival is crucial. In a life-and-death moment, blood-flying Yen couldn't afford to think too much. She was a person with a sinister mind, decisive and resolute. Knowing there was no other choice but to confront, she instantly withdrew her soul from the furnace completely. She abandoned the Black Nine profound threads, which had been refined to 8 spots. With a loud boom, as blood-flying Yan's soul withdrew, the furnace she was facing, where the Black Nine profound threads had reached 8 spots, instantly vaporized in the burning flames. However, blood-flying Yen couldn't care about the furnace anymore, because Yi Chen's attack had already reached her. Wah! 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 Blood-flying Yen gritted her teeth suddenly, as an endless divine light surged. Her body erupted with unmatched blood-colored divine light. Within this blood-colored divine light, she hastily mobilized all her divine body power, divine soul combat power to fend off the countless amethyst soul-slaying skills, purple blade lights coming from Yi Chun. However, even though Yi Chen's soul still had a large portion in the furnace refining the Black Nine profound threads, only a part had been diverted to attack blood-flying Yen. This attack alone forced her, who was defending with all her might, to be struck back several hundred meters away. Moreover, the countless purple blade lights from Yi Chen's amethyst soul-slaying skills showed no signs of stopping, continuously surging towards the retreating blood-flying Yen. This truly terrified blood-flying Yen to the core. Blood-flying Yen could sense that if Yi Chun hadn't been focusing on refining the Black Nine profound threads, but instead attacked her with full force, she definitely wouldn't be able to withstand it. The foreign divine king before her was even more terrifying than she had anticipated. How can this foreign divine king be so powerful? Blood-flying Yen was in complete disbelief. What she didn't know was that Yi Chen's original combat power was enough to overwhelmingly suppress both her and Shuling Chan. And after Yi Chun slew Shuling Chan earlier, he had acquired the 2nd type of divine blood, activating the 2nd stars within the stars tower. Thus Yi Chen's current combat power far surpassed hers many times over. Just with soul attacks, enhanced by even the slightest enhancement from the furnace, Yi Chun, originally already with a blue soul, was way beyond her comparison. No, I cannot wait for him to finish refining the Black Nine profound threads, and then unleash his full-powered attacking techniques. Otherwise I will surely die. Retreating swiftly, blood-flying Yen noticed Yi Chen's attacks relentlessly coming at her, and made a decision instantly. She shouted loudly towards Yi Chun. I have already given up on refining the Black Nine profound threads. If you continue to attack me, I will destroy your refining of the Black Nine profound threads. Even if you kill me, I will ensure you cannot enter the 7th territory. Spare me, and I can overlook what happened before. Blood-flying Yen resorted to threatening Yi Chun by sabotaging his refinement of the Black Nine profound threads. In blood-flying Yan's eyes, although Yi Chen's combat power was frightening, if Yi Chun tried to multitask by both refining the Black Nine profound threads and attacking her, she believed she could definitely sabotage Yi Chen's refinement even if she was at a disadvantage. Blood-flying Yen hoped to threaten Yi Chun, making him pause to preserve his refinement of the Black Nine profound threads. That way, she would have a chance to escape, and perhaps even seize the opportunity to further disrupt Yi Chun. However, Blood-flying Yan's threat was completely ineffective on Yi Chun. The countless purple blade lights from Yi Chen's amethyst soul-slaying skills continued to launch a frenzied attack on blood-flying Yen without the slightest pause. Under such circumstances, blood-flying Yen couldn't even activate the ancient heavenly cauldron order to escape. Moreover, Yi Chen's voice also came coldly to blood-flying Yen. If you wish to sabotage my refinement of the Black Nine profound threads, then go ahead and try. I am curious if you have that capability. On Yi Chen's side, the furnace was still ablaze, clearly indicating that Yi Chun was still in the process of refining the Black Nine profound threads, without the slightest disturbance. Seeing Yi Chen's attack still coming at her and hearing his cold words, blood-flying Yen realized that the foreign divine king before her had no intention of sparing her. Blood-flying Yen instantly developed a resolve of mutual destruction. A fierce determination flashed in her eyes. Let's see if you can protect the Black Nine profound threads. Boom! 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 In an instant, blood-flying Yan's divine power burst forth once again, confronting the endless amethyst soul-slaying skills, purple blade lights. Simultaneously, blood-flying Yan's form transformed dramatically into her Blood Wing Clan true form, and even from her body, 3 special divine objects, bestowed by the Blood Origin Divine Master, flew out. Blood-flying Yen is truly prepared to fight to the death. Her entire divine power and body transformation are once again blasted back amidst Yi Chen's amethyst soul-slaying skills. But the 3 divine objects she drove forth continue to assault the furnace before Yi Chun without pause. The blood-flying Yen is truly intent on sabotaging Yi Chen's refining of the Black Nine profound threads. Upon seeing the 3 divine objects attack the furnace, the portion of divine soul Yi Chun retained outside his body let out a subtle sigh. Then, from Yi Chen's body, ceaseless stellar divine light erupted forth. Purple gold divine light. This was clearly the divine light brought about by the starry origin power from the second star Yi Chen had recently activated. Confronting blood-flying Yan's desperate attack, Yi Chen finally brought out a stronger method beyond the amethyst soul-slaying skills. Boom! Once the purple gold divine light gushed from Yi Chen's body, it instantly formed a 100-foot-tall purple gold towering giant hand. On this giant hand, countless terrifying slashing forces resembling sword radiance continuously erupted. This was evidently Yi Chen's newly created latest move from the Origin Slash, the 4th style of the Origin Slash. Even if this style was not yet fully matured, with the starry origin power from the 2nd star of the Stars Tower additional support, it absolutely reached the sovereign level of combat power, incomparable to blood-flying Yen. Just witnessing, as the purple gold towering giant hand swept across, the 3 divine objects driven forth by blood-flying Yen were immediately swept to the ground just like the previous 8 falling divine nails. And the purple gold towering giant hand didn't stop. It thunderously grasped, flashing through the void, directly capturing blood-flying Yen, who was being bombarded and retreating repeatedly. Blood-flying Yen screamed in horror. But before she could scream twice, the 100-foot-tall towering giant hand, with its erupting purple gold sword radiance slashing forces, completely obliterated her vitality, directly slaying her within the towering giant hand. After activating the 2nd star of the Stars Tower, in mere moments, Yi Chun slew blood-flying Yen on the field. Divinity extinguished, life perished. Boom! When blood-flying Yan's corpse fell again from the void, utterly lifeless, the purple gold towering giant hand finally dissipated again. On the 6th region boundary, 2 furnaces still stood tall, but at this moment, only Yi Chun remained in front of the furnace. After slaying blood-flying Yen, Yi Chun completely ignored blood-flying Yan's corpse, nor did he bother with the treasures she dropped on the ground. Yi Chun still continued the refinement of the Black Nine profound threads. Still short of 3 complete days, his 9-spotted Black Nine profound threads had not yet been completely refined. Yi Chun directly activated the starry origin power of the 2nd star, instantly killing blood-flying Yen for this very reason. He didn't wish to be entangled too deeply with this ferocious woman. His more crucial mission was to complete the task of the 6th region boundary. Swoosh. This time, after blood-flying Yen perished, Yi Chen's divine soul entirely entered into the furnace. He once again began slaughtering the burning fire crow, refining the black 9 profound threads, and enhancing the cultivation of his divine soul. Without realizing it, the entire 3-day period in the 6th region boundary finally passed. Boom! When Yi Chen withdrew his divine soul again from the furnace, he directly brought out the beast spirit of the burning fire crow. Along with a strand of black 9 profound threads he personally refined, reaching 9 spots, finally completed. At this moment, as his divine soul returned to his body, Yi Chen finally opened his eyes, placing the burning fire crow beast spirit into the 9 beasts cauldron. While storing the black 9 profound threads, Yi Chen finally looked at blood-flying Yan's corpse. With a flick of his finger, whoosh whoosh whoosh, the items on blood-flying Yan flew off her corpse. Then Yi Chen pointed again, and a wisp of blue extreme ice flame directly flew onto blood-flying Yan's body, completely incinerating her into void. Finally, Yi Chen's gaze focused on the falling divine nails, scattered on the ground, and the 3 divine objects last driven by blood-flying Yan. A little over a day later, the 18th day of ventures in the ancient Forbidden Grounds finally elapsed, marking the moment to set foot into the 7th region boundary. Yi Chen, guided by the 9 beasts cauldron, alone, stepped into the 7th region boundary of the ancient Forbidden Grounds. Ancient Forbidden Grounds, safe zone. When Yi Chen stepped into the 7th region boundary of the ancient Forbidden Grounds, the awaited display showing the number of adventurers in the ancient Forbidden Grounds finally returned. This time, the display on the light screen shocked everyone present. The light screen directly stated, "Only one person left entering the 7th region boundary. Chapter 1005 Heavenly Flame Mountain. Only one person remains." This means that only one person has entered the 7th territory. But at this moment, no one has come out from the 6th territory. Earlier, there were 2 people who ventured into the 6th territory. Could it be that one of them has died? Thinking of this possibility, the people of the Blood-Wing tribe were shocked. They believed that it was Blood-Flying Yen and Shuling Chan who had entered the 6th territory together. Could it be that one among Blood-Flying Yen and Shuling Chan has died? No, impossible. They are both from the same tribe. Would they kill each other? Or did they attack each other to seize the chance to enter the 7th territory? Everyone in the Blood-Wing tribe was immensely anxious. After all, the death of either Blood-Flying Yen or Shuling Chan would be a significant loss to the Blood-Wing tribe. At this time, the people of the 9 Flames clan also showed surprise. They did not expect that only one person could enter the 7th territory, nor did they expect the difficulty of venturing through the 9 territories of the ancient Forbidden Grounds to be so great. Among the crowd, the ones whose hearts were pounding the most were the sisters Kai Menger and Kai Shower. Now, only one person has entered the 7th territory, and Yi Chen, Blood-Flying Yen, and Shuling Chan haven't come out. This means that 2 of the 3 must have died. Even if Kai Menger and Kai Shower most likely believed that the person who survived and entered the 7th territory was Yi Chen, they couldn't help but feel a slight worry deep inside. Just when everyone in the field was startled by the news that only one person has entered the 7th territory, another unexpected event happened. A flicker appeared on the light screen, vaguely showing a silhouette. The light screen indicated that this was the final silhouette to enter the 7th territory. Even though this silhouette quickly disappeared with the light screen, everyone staring at the screen saw this silhouette. The people of the Blood-Wing tribe were utterly horrified, chills running down their spines, because they realized that this silhouette was not of Blood-Flying Yen or Shuling Chan, whom they were sure would make it to the 7th territory, but someone else. At this moment, Kai Menger and Kai Shower were so overjoyed that they exclaimed directly, "Yi Chen! The person who is still alive is Yi Chen, the 7th territory." As soon as Yi Chen stepped into this territory, he immediately found himself standing on the mountainside of a giant mountain ablaze with flames. This time, without waiting, he discovered a giant flame stele standing not far from him, with numerous inscriptions on it. Yi Chen swept his divine sense over it and looked towards the flame stele. The stele was inscribed with information about venturing into the seventh territory. Soon, Yi Chen understood the rules for venturing in the seventh territory. Previously, from the Nine Beasts Cauldron, Yi Chen already knew that in the seventh territory, the beast to be confronted was named the Azure-Eyed Fire Serpent, and the 9 profound threads to be collected were the green 9 profound threads. Now, from the additional information on the flame stele, Yi Chen understood that the giant mountain he was in was named Heavenly Flame Mountain. To pass through this territory, he had to ascend from the mountainside to the mountain summit, and only upon reaching a fiery cave at the summit could he advance. Entering that fiery cave would lead to the 8th territory, and along the way, he needed to slay the Azure-Eyed Fire Serpent to obtain its beast spirit. Meanwhile, he also had to try to find the green 9 profound threads. The flame stele further explained that this Heavenly Flame Mountain is also a treasure mountain. Within this treasure mountain, many divine objects are hidden, and whether one could obtain them depended on the venturer's skills. Seeing this, Yi Chen's heart stirred. Yi Chen recalled the location where he obtained divine objects last time, the 4th territory. At that time, in the 4th territory, many ruined halls had divine objects hidden within them. After slaying the exotic beast, God-devouring caterpillar of the 4th territory, Yi Chen found many divine objects in the halls. Now the 7th territory is also declared a treasure mountain. This led Yi Chen to speculate whether each passage of 3 territories leads to a treasure land. The first 3 territories required 9 days of venturing, and upon stepping into the 4th territory, he entered a territory rich with divine objects. Similarly, the middle 3 territories also took 9 days of venturing, and now entering the 7th territory, he again steps into a treasure land. Following that, venturing through the last 3 territories would directly lead to the ancient temple, which houses the unsurpassed divine fire, surely another treasure land. This comparison of situations sent a shock through Yi Chen's heart. Yi Chen thought of one more thing. Back then, besides obtaining a divine object in the 4th realm, he also acquired something even more mysterious than the divine object, an unnamed mantra present in every treasure hall. At that time, Yi Chen was speculating whether more unnamed mantras would appear later. Now, having arrived at a treasure land similar to the 4th realm, Yi Chen couldn't help but speculate about this 7th realm. Is there an unnamed mantra here? Standing on the hillside contemplating for a moment, Yi Chen took large strides toward the summit. At this time, after activating the 2nd type of divine blood in the 5th layer of the Stars Tower, leveraging the power of the Starry Origin, Yi Chen's combat power had already broken through to the sovereign level. Although the gigantic flame mountain, Heavenly Flame Mountain, in the 7th realm was exceedingly scorching, the entire giant mountain was ablaze. It posed no interference to Yi Chen. Previously, his divine sense was severely suppressed in the 6th realm. But after strengthening his divine soul in the 6th realm's furnace, Yi Chen's current divine soul detection range was much larger than in the 6th realm. Now, with a sweep of his divine sense, Yi Chen could probe a range of several thousand feet around. Yi Chen thus continued to probe as he walked up the giant, Heavenly Flame Mountain. After walking about several hundred meters, with a swift glance, Yi Chen's eyes were directly drawn to a flower on a rock next to the giant mountain. While the entire giant mountain was burning like crimson flames, the green flower appeared rather special. Of course, there were many other such green flowers along the way, none of which Yi Chen stopped for. Yet this time, he stopped at this particular flower, clearly having found something amiss. The next moment, Yi Chen reached out a large hand toward this green flower, and something unexpected happened. With a bang, the flower shattered upon contact, and as it did, a treasure light swiftly fled away. Seeing the escaping treasure, Yi Chen smiled faintly and raised his hand to grab it. Like being pulled back by an immensely powerful force, the treasure light, struggling constantly, was instantly pulled in front of Yi Chen. Yi Chen extended his hand, and the treasure light landed straight into his palm. Looking at his palm, one could see a small green ring. Yi Chen examined it, and though it appeared unremarkable, it was actually a polar sky-level storage divine ring. Although upon probing the inside of the divine ring with his divine sense, Yi-chun found the vast space within devoid of other items. It was an ownerless divine object that delighted him immensely. A polar sky-level storage divine ring. He had never acquired such a quality ring before. Hee, Yi-chun. After your divine soul strengthened in the furnace, your divine soul detection ability is even stronger than mine as a soul beast. As Yi-chun admired the polar sky-level divine ring, the playful voice of Xiaojiu also reached Yi-chun's ears. At this moment, with no one accompanying him, Xiaojiu had awakened from cultivation and joined Yi-chun upon his entry into the seventh realm. Hearing Xiaojiu's words, Yi-chun also smiled. Xiaojiu, your divine soul power has always been stronger than mine. Though I've now temporarily improved some, with your continuous cultivation using the primordial gold divine flower and purple silver pearl, it's only a matter of time before your divine soul power surpasses mine again. Originally in the heavenly god mountain, the existence beyond the sovereign Yi-chun acquired was used to nurture spirit beasts with the primordial gold divine flower, which he gave to Xiaojiu, the little monkey, and the scarlet Ming ants for cultivation. He also provided Xiaojiu and the little monkey with many purple silver pearls to strengthen their divine souls. Currently, the little monkey and the scarlet Ming ants, still immersed in cultivation, had long evolved to true god level. This speed of transformation amazed even Yi-chun. After all, he hadn't given the little monkey and the scarlet Ming ants the primordial gold divine flower for long, yet it had such a significant effect. Primordial gold divine flower is indeed a strange treasure used by the existence beyond the sovereign to cultivate spirit beasts. Even though Yi-chun later saw that after they broke through to true god level, the advancement speed of the little monkey and the scarlet Ming ants slowed considerably, he was still incredibly shocked by the marvelous use of the primordial gold divine flower. Meanwhile, Xiaojiu, who was already a true god, had now advanced further than the little monkey and the scarlet Ming ants, already breaking through to god king level. Although still only a lower god king, there were many primordial gold divine flowers and purple silver pearls left unused. With these two things, Xiaojiu's growth was more than assured. Unfortunately, the primordial gold divine flower could only be used by spirit beasts. Xiaojiu, as a soul beast, had already reduced its potency, and for Yi-chun as a human, the primordial gold divine flower had no effect. Otherwise, Yi-chun might have been able to use the primordial gold divine flower to continuously break through. After all, Xiaojiu had said that the primordial gold divine flower could be used all the way to the divine master realm. Yi-chun, let's continue to explore. We've just started and already obtained a divine object. Maybe we can find more good things later. Hearing Yi-chun's words, Xiaojiu said with a giggle. Yi-chun nodded, stored away the newly acquired polar sky-level divine ring, and then took steps heading further up the heavenly flame mountain. Chapter 1006-Second Section Mantra. The location where Yi-chun is situated is still tens of thousands of feet away from the summit of Heavenly Flame Mountain. With his divine sense suppressed, Yi-chun couldn't even glimpse the summit of Heavenly Flame Mountain. He could only see that the flames on the giant mountain burned more fiercely the higher he went. Moreover, Yi-chun had to meticulously search for the green 9 profound threads and slay the azure-eyed fire serpent to obtain its beast spirit, so he couldn't proceed too quickly. He could only investigate each area while slowly advancing toward the summit. After Yi-chun had walked about 300 to 400 meters farther, this time, instead of discovering a divine object, he suddenly saw an exotic beast tens of feet long. Yet it was as thin as a finger, like a thread of lightning shooting at him. This exotic beast was surprisingly the exotic beast of the seventh realm, the azure-eyed fire serpent. Looking at this azure-eyed fire serpent, not only was its body thin and long like a thread, giving it an odd appearance, but its tiny eyes emitted a greenish, eerie glow. As for its outer skin, it was fiery red, resembling the burning of the giant mountain Heavenly Flame Mountain. And the entire azure-eyed fire serpent also had flames faintly burning on it. Red snake skin, green eyes, burning flames, a small yet exceedingly long body, coupled with the extreme speed of its assault. This was the first azure-eyed fire serpent Yi-chun faced. Before this azure-eyed fire serpent, approached Yi Chun. He sensed that its combat power might be even stronger than the Shuling Chan he had killed. However, Yi Chun was now far beyond what he was before. Having activated the second star within the star's tower, his combat power had taken a qualitative leap. Let alone Shuling Chan, even blood-flying Yen paled in comparison to him by countless times. Seeing the azure-eyed fire serpent assaulting him, Yi Chun didn't dodge. The purple-gold stellar power merely covered his body. The next moment, he saw the fangs of the azure-eyed fire serpent, aiming to bite him at the instant, directly shattered. Even the flames on its body couldn't even touch Yi Chun. Instead, they were all instantly extinguished by the purple-gold light. Then, Yi Chun grabbed with his hand and captured the azure-eyed fire serpent. Squeak! Squeak! The azure-eyed fire serpent, caught by Yi Chun, struggled and twisted relentlessly, emitting an exceedingly strange sound. No matter how it struggled, it couldn't escape from Yi Chun's grasp at all. Looking at the azure-eyed fire serpent in his hand, Yi Chun murmured, "The creator of these ancient forbidden grounds must be significantly linked to fire. Not only is there unsurpassed divine fire here, but even the exotic beasts within are related to fire. There are untold polar sky-level divine fires that even the Nine Flames clan and Blood Wing clan desperately desire. I wonder what realm the creator of this place is at. Looking at it, it seems they might not be any weaker than a great power holder of the Divine Master realm. From the challenges of 9 realms, from the explanations in the ancient steel, and from the legendary ancient temple hidden deep within the ancient forbidden grounds, Yi Chun could sense that the current state of these ancient forbidden grounds was not naturally formed, but surely created by someone. The further he ventured, the more Yi Chun felt the various mysteries of the ancient forbidden grounds and perceived the strength of the person who forged it. After pondering for a moment, Yi Chun turned his gaze back to the azure-eyed fire serpent in his hand. This time, the purple-gold stellar power in Yi Chun's palm suddenly surged, and the azure-eyed fire serpent was directly slain within the stellar power. Subsequently, the azure-eyed fire serpent vanished, yet Yi Chun did not see the beast spirit appear.
Yi Chun nodded unsurprisingly.
Obtaining a beast spirit by slaying the first azure-eyed fire serpent was highly improbable, so Yi Chun wasn't disappointed at all. He continued to climb further up Heavenly Flame Mountain. As he progressed with intermittent pauses, either Yi Chun was finding divine objects hidden within Heavenly Flame Mountain, or Yi Chun was encountering attacks from the azure-eyed fire serpent, or Yi Chun was discovering traces of the Green 9 profound threads. After Yi Chun had traversed more than 20,000 feet, Yi Chun had slain a total of 3,000 to 4,000 azure-eyed fire serpents, and even stumbled upon several serpent cave realms, encountering an onslaught of a large group of azure-eyed fire serpents, slaying several hundred of them at once. This broad-scale slaying of exotic beasts certainly yielded considerable rewards. At over 10,000 feet, Yi Chun successfully obtained the beast spirit of the azure-eyed fire serpent. Though further slaying of the azure-eyed fire serpent yielded no benefits, Yi Chun had to kill them when attacked. Of course, apart from slaying the azure-eyed fire serpent and obtaining the beast spirit, Yi Chun recently found dozens of 9 profound threads and obtained a strand of the 9 spots Green 9 profound threads. This meant that before reaching the summit of Heavenly Flame Mountain, Yi Chun had already completed the 7th realm's task. 7 realms, 7 beast spirits, 7 kinds of 9 spots, 9 profound threads, all acquired. Not to mention the dozens of divine objects obtained along the way. Anyone else would likely be thrilled, but Yi Chun always felt something missing in the 7th realm. This feeling continued until Yi Chun finally reached the summit realm and saw the fire-breathing cave mentioned on the flame steel, several hundred feet high ahead. Looking at the fire-breathing cave up ahead, one could see that the cave resembled a giant crater, still spewing red-hot magma. The lava roiled continuously, releasing terrifying heat, with endless flames burning within the magma. This volcanic fire-breathing cave stretched several dozen feet wide. When Yi Chun sensed this heat, He felt that if it were any other upper immortal divine venerable, as soon as they jumped into this cave, they would instantly be incinerated by the magma into nothingness. Even Shuling Chan and Blood Flying Yen, these two powerful figures, might not enter the volcanic crater unharmed. Yi Chun also saw that outside the crater, floating in mid-air, was a massive, dark, fire-filled cloud. A large swath of fire rain continuously fell from the fire cloud, completely shrouding the path leading to the volcanic crater in endless fire rain. The giant, gaping volcanic crater spewing fire, the fire rain incessantly pouring down from the sky. This was the site at the summit of Heavenly Flame Mountain. Now, according to the instructions on the flame steel at the mountainside, Yi Chun only needed to jump into the giant crater to enter the 8th realm. However, Yi Chun didn't directly leap past the range of the endless fire rain and into the cave. Instead, Yi Chun walked into the fire rain, looking up at the continuously falling raindrops. Crack, crack, crack. The fire rain fell, striking the ground of Heavenly Flame Mountain, becoming clusters of blazing flames. Yi Chun stood amidst the endless fire rain, surrounded entirely by burning flames, as if he were amidst a fiery inferno. This scene, falling into Xiaozhou's eyes, made Xiaozhou feel somewhat strange. Xiaozhou asked, "Yi Chun, why did you stop? Why aren't you heading directly to the cave in the crater?" Yi Chun looked up at the fire rain dripping from above and said to Xiaozhou, "With my increased combat power, obtaining the azure-eyed flame serpent spirit and the green 9 profound threads has become much easier. But all along, I felt that there's still something in this 7th realm that I haven't found. I've searched everywhere else, and now only the fire rain area remains. The sudden appearance of endless fire rain at this volcano's opening must have some reason. For others, they might think the fire rain is a test of the 7th realm and would choose to pass through it as quickly as possible. But Yi Chun is different. He always felt the appearance of the fire rain was peculiar, not just simply to block the challenger's path. Of course, only a strong figure like Yi Chun, with high skills and boldness, dared to stand directly amidst the fire rain and observe. Even with the endless fire rain falling and the countless flames burning, they had no effect on Yi Chun, as these flames were directly isolated by the purple-golden divine light on him, unable to touch him. Hearing Yi Chun's words, Xiaozhou also began observing the fire rain, but Xiaozhou found nothing. Yi Chun, aside from its extremely terrifying killing force, there is nothing strange about this fire rain. Yi Chun smiled and waved his hand. No need to rush. In just half a day, Yi Chun had explored the previous Heavenly Flame Mountain realm, but he stood beneath the fire rain, observing it for more than half a day. As one day passed, Yi Chun remained observing the changes in the fire rain. The endless fire rain seemed infinite, continuously falling and incessantly dripping onto Heavenly Flame Mountain. After observing it for another half-day, Yi Chun's eyes suddenly shone bright. There's indeed something special here. Swish, swish, swish. Quietly standing, Yi Chun suddenly moved, his body rushing into the fire rain with unbelievable speed. Only the sight of a divine light flickered, darting through the fire rain, and with it, one drop after another was caught in the hands of Yi Chun. Finally, Yi Chun captured thousands of drops of fire rain. Strangely, the rain droplets caught by Yi Chun were indeed extraordinary. The other fire rain droplets were bright crimson, but those caught by Yi Chun had a faint, nearly undetectable green hidden within the crimson hue. Other fire rain, once fallen, instantly became clusters of burning flames. Yet the thousands of raindrops captured by Yi Chun did not turn into flames. Instead, they flashed with inexplicable divine light. The next moment, something unexpected happened to Yi Chun. The raindrops spontaneously drilled into Yi Chun's mind. Instantly, a mysterious mantra appeared in Yi Chun's mind. Nameless incantation. Yi Chun was shocked. This mysterious mantra was as inexplicable as the first nameless incantation he obtained in the 4th realm. Moreover, finally, this time, these mysterious incantations were different from the first nameless incantation he had discovered in the 4th realm. Another piece of the nameless incantation. Yi Chen's mind and spirit trembled, deeply imprinting this second mysteriously appearing nameless incantation in his heart. If the first nameless incantation made Yi Chen feel a bit strange, this second nameless incantation added together made Yi Chen realize there was definitely a big secret within. Chapter 1007 Divine Fire and Divine Fire. Yi Chen's expression changed, catching Xiaojiu's eye and surprising him immensely. Yi Chen, have you really discovered something? Xiaojiu asked excitedly. Nameless mantra? Is it the same nameless mantra from the fourth realm? Yi Chen nodded and transmitted the divine sense of the nameless mantra that appeared in his mind to Xiaojiu. Earlier, Xiaojiu had learned from Yi Chen about the first segment of the nameless mantra that appeared in the fourth realm, and now seeing a new segment of the nameless mantra appear, Xiaojiu was just as shocked as Yi Chen, stunned for a while. A big secret. This nameless mantra definitely wouldn't appear suddenly. There must be a big secret within it, Xiaojiu confidently said to Yi Chen. At this point, Yi Chen's gaze directly focused on the fiery rain covering the sky. After acquiring the nameless mantra, the fiery rain in the sky still continued to fall ceaselessly. Yi Chen's heart stirred, but he did not leave immediately. He wanted to see if, after acquiring the second segment of the nameless mantra, any new nameless mantra would appear. However, Yi Chen waited for a long time without discovering anything new. It seemed as if the thousands of drops of faint green fiery rain hidden within the crimson fiery rain had vanished entirely. Yi Chen wasn't anxious and continued to wait. After waiting another day, his eyes suddenly lit up once more as he saw the mnemonic fire rain, hidden in the fiery rain of the sky. Yi Chen instantly moved, again collecting thousands of drops of mnemonic fire rain into his hands. This time, these fiery raindrops once again entered Yi Chen's mind, forming a segment of a mantra. However, this time the mantra was identical to the second segment that had previously entered Yi Chen's mind, without any change. Yi Chen's eyes flashed with thought. It seems that in the seventh realm, there is only this one segment of mantra. Unlike the situation in the fourth realm where the same first segment appeared in the Great Hall, here, every so often, the same second segment appears. Unfortunately, even after acquiring two segments of the nameless mantra consecutively, I still haven't understood its true meaning. It seems the time to decipher the nameless mantra hasn't arrived yet. Yi Chen muttered to himself for a while and then watched the fiery rain in the sky for a moment before finally deciding not to linger in the seventh realm. With the gains from the seventh realm in hand, he strode across the fiery rain realm to the volcano mouth of the fire spout cave. Once I jump into this volcano mouth, I will enter the eighth realm. I have already spent nearly 3 days in the seventh realm. I need to hurry to the subsequent realms. According to the Nine Beasts Cauldron, the eighth realm will be faced with an attack by the eighth type of exotic beast, the magma firebug, and the 9 profound threads corresponding to the eighth realm are purple 9 profound threads. Yi Chen's eyes gleamed with intense light, and he leapt into the fiery, fierce magma of the volcano mouth within the fire spout cave. In the next moment, the rolling magma erupted, engulfing Yi Chen and rushing him endlessly forward. At the instant Yi Chen entered the eighth realm, all members of the Nine Flames clan and the Blood Wing clan who remained in the safety zone finally awaited the reappearance of the light screen. When they saw the words on the light screen reading, "Entering the eighth realm, only one person remains," and saw the faint figure that emerged, still the same one that had earlier entered the seventh realm. The remaining members of the Nine Flames clan and the Blood Wing clan were greatly shocked. This person has again traversed the seventh realm and entered the eighth realm. Moreover, this time, everyone clearly saw who the figure really was. The remaining members of the Blood Wing clan and the Nine Flames clan exclaimed, "This person is, unexpectedly, the divine king from the foreign race." The Blood Wing clan members now fully understood that Shuling Chan and Blood Flying Yin, in whom they had placed great hope, were truly dead inside the ancient forbidden grounds. Otherwise, they would have appeared by now, and an unfamiliar person could not possibly enter the subsequent realms. Meanwhile, The Nine Flames clan members turned their gaze to Kai Menger and Kai Shower. They remembered that this foreign race divine king who was still venturing forward was the one who came with Kai Menger and Kai Shower. At this moment, Kai Menger and Kai Shower had eyes bright with delight. Yi Chun is indeed continuing on. Even alone, he successfully reached the 8th realm. Yi Chun, you are truly the most formidable. Both women exclaimed joyfully. However, the greater joy was still to come. After another 2 days passed, the light screen that appears whenever someone enters a new realm finally arrived once again. This time, the light screen directly read, "Entering the 9th realm. Only one person remains." In the light curtain, Yi Chen's figure appeared for the 3rd time. Seeing this situation, everyone in the safe zone covered their mouths in astonishment, because they understood that this clearly represented that Yi Chun, the exotic beast's divine king they didn't know much about, had already reached the final step of the 9 domains faced by those below the sovereign realm. The 9th region is a vast lake that stretches beyond sight. The lake water appears a deep blue, looking utterly tranquil. At this moment on the lake, there is a light boat drifting, and standing atop it is Yi Chun, who has just broken through the 8th region and been transmitted into the 9th region. Yi Chun never expected that after wandering for 2 days in the endless lava of that flame-spewing cavern in the 8th region, successfully completing the task of slaying the magma fire bug, and obtaining the magma fire bug beast souls, and acquiring the purple 9 profound threads, he would suddenly be transported from the violent lava to such a serene lake world, arriving on a light boat. The 9th region indeed. Standing in this tranquil lake world, knowing this is the last domain to explore, Yi Chun couldn't help but feel a sense of peace in his heart. Next, Yi Chen's gaze turned to the light boat he was on and the 9 beasts cauldron in his hand. On the light boat, many crystalline characters were inscribed, and the 9 beasts cauldron also provided Yi Chun with some information about the 9th region. Integrating the characters on the light boat and the information from the 9 beasts cauldron, Yi Chun finally understood the rules of this last exploration domain thoroughly, and after understanding it, a touch of awe involuntarily appeared in Yi Chen's eyes, because the rules of the 9th region are surprisingly greatly related to the final unsurpassed divine fire, and also significantly associated with what the strong ones of the sovereign realm face regarding the unsurpassed divine fire. When Yi Chun and all the personnel below the sovereign realm, as well as 18 9-star sovereigns, first arrived at the ancient forbidden grounds, they saw the explanation on the ancient stele in the first domain. It stated that the personnel below the sovereign realm and sovereign realm personnel would explore separately, corresponding to an ancient temple each, and would separately compete for 2 types of unsurpassed divine fire within the 2 ancient temples. The personnel below the sovereign realm would increasingly gather together as they explored. Meanwhile, those 18 9-star sovereigns would individually explore the 9 domains and would only meet in the ancient temple at the end. Initially, Yi Chun thought his exploration had nothing to do with those 9-star sovereigns. However, the rules of the 9th region now told Yi Chun there is also a hierarchy between the 2 ancient temples, as well as a hierarchy among the unsurpassed divine fire within them. What made Yi Chun feel shocked is, he had long heard of it, that highly ranked 3rd on the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list, desperately sought by the 9 Flames clan and Bloodwing clan, the ancient temple spirit fire, is actually not the stronger unsurpassed divine fire of the 2 ancient temples. The rules of the 9th region clearly mention that the ancient temple spirit fire is only within the 1st ancient temple, whereas in the 2nd ancient temple, there exists a stronger kind of unsurpassed divine fire. Earlier, Yi Chun had been speculating which of the 2 unsurpassed divine fires was stronger. Unexpectedly, the unsurpassed divine fire that had not yet appeared would be stronger than the ancient temple spirit fire, seen by the 9 Flames clan and Bloodwing clan, ranked 3rd on the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list. And the rules of the 9th region further clarify that it's not definite that only the strong ones of the sovereign realm can enter the 2nd ancient temple to obtain better divine fire, while those below sovereign realm can only access the 1st, weaker ancient temple. Despite the separate exploration of the 2 groups, there is mutual competition. The true competition is in this 9th region. The rules explicitly state that the last kind of 9 profound threads gold 9 profound threads, will appear in the ninth region. And this gold 9 profound threads is the hardest to find and hardest to obtain among all the 9 profound threads. Ultimately, whose gold 9 profound threads quality is higher, among the strong ones of the sovereign realm and those below, will enter the better ancient temple to obtain the better unsurpassed divine fire. Moreover, the rules further specify that the probability of finding a gold 9 profound threads with 9 spots is extremely slim. Just obtaining one with 8 or 7 spots is considered a significant achievement. Of course, the rules also state that if the gold 9 profound threads found by the personnel below the sovereign realm and the strong ones of the sovereign realm are of the same grade, then those with higher realms will enter the better ancient temple. Even though these rules are advantageous for the strong ones of the sovereign realm, they have also shocked the still exploring 9-star sovereigns. In the domains explored by the 9-star sovereigns, it can be seen that, at this moment, only 2 of the 18 9-star sovereigns remain exploring. The rest of the 9-star sovereigns, having lost 3 in previous explorations, realized something was amiss and chose to quit exploring, transmitting themselves to the other safe zone designed for the sovereign realm personnel. Among them are those familiar to Yi Chun, Kai Menger and Kai Shower's father, Kai Meng Sovereign, who is within the safe zone. And the 2 9-star sovereigns still exploring are, strikingly, the strongest 2 sovereigns of the 9 Flames clan and Blood Wing clan, Elder Shuya and Elder Tianhua. At this moment, Elder Shuya and Elder Tianhua, like Yi Chun, each stand upon a serene lake in a light boat, their faces marked with shock upon seeing the rules. Although the exploration for the sovereign realm and those below involves 9 domains, the difficulty is vastly different. The 9-star sovereigns face sovereign-level challenges, and even as 9-star sovereigns, they barely made it to the 9th region. What Elder Shuya and Elder Tianhua didn't anticipate is that the ancient temple spirit fire they so eagerly want isn't the stronger, unsurpassed divine fire appearing this time. Elder Shuya was stunned in his heart. That yet to appear unsurpassed divine fire is stronger than the ancient temple spirit fire? If it appears, what rank would it occupy on the extreme heaven divine fire list? Even with the ancient temple spirit fire, he had no assurance of acquiring it, and now another, stronger divine fire might appear, which tremendously shocked Elder Shuya. Similarly, Elder Tianhua of the 9 Flames clan was equally astonished. Among our sovereigns and the personnel below the sovereign realm, whoever acquires better gold 9 profound threads in the 9th region will enter the better ancient temple? How many of those below the sovereign realm have reached the end? Chapter 1008 Bone Fire Spirit Fish, Ice Flame Cave. After a moment of shock, the 2 9-star sovereigns turned their focus to the task in the 9th region. After all, no matter how shocked they are, they must first complete the task in the 9th region. If they can't even complete the task, it's too unrealistic to talk about the unsurpassed divine fire in the ancient temple afterward. The region where Yi Chun is located. Yi Chun also devoted himself to studying the task of the 9th region. Elder Tianhua, Elder Shuya, Yi Chun, 2 9-star sovereigns, 1 person below the sovereign realm, all 3 began to study the task in different places. According to the rules of the 9th region, they must find the golden 9 mystic silk, and the exotic beast they face is a beast called the bone fire spirit fish. However, unlike facing exotic beasts head-on in previous regions, the exotic beast bone fire spirit fish in this 9th region will not appear directly but must be fished using a rod on a light boat. Once the bone fire spirit fish is caught, it will attack the angler, and only by defeating the bone fire spirit fish with absolute power can one obtain a special flame. And this special flame born from the bone fire spirit fish has great utility. Every special flame of the bone fire spirit fish corresponds to a mystical cave hidden beneath the lake in this 9th region, known as the Ice Flame Cave. There are countless bone fire spirit fish in the lake. Under the lake, there are also countless ice flame caves. Only by relying on the special flame from the bone fire spirit fish can one enter the corresponding Ice Flame Cave. And the golden 9 mystic silk is hidden in some of the Ice Flame Caves. What grade of golden 9 mystic silk can be obtained, and how many Ice Flame Caves can be entered, depends on the number of bone fire spirit fish caught and killed. Want to jump into the lake directly to find the Ice Flame Cave? That is absolutely impossible. According to the rules, without the protection of the special flame from the bonefire spirit fish, even a divine master jumping into the lake will surely die. This explanation startled Elder Tianhua, Elder Shuya, and Yi Chun. Through previous adventures, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya had already noticed the extraordinariness of the ancient forbidden grounds, and Yi Chun had long been guessing the strength of the creator of this world. Now, seeing the rules stating that even a divine master jumping into the lake without the protection of the bonefire spirit fish flame would surely die, the three gasped again. This clearly indicates that the creator of these 9 regions of the ancient forbidden grounds is far superior to a divine master. Otherwise, it would be impossible for a region to be set up that could kill a divine master. Of course, this makes the 3 even more expectant of the unsurpassed divine fire hidden in the ancient temple. On the light boat where Yi Chun resides, after pondering the task's rules, his eyes fell on the fishing rod placed on the boat. This fishing rod looks ordinary, with a crystal-clear fishing line hanging from it, attached to a hook. With such a set, the exotic beast bonefire spirit fish in the 9th region is to be fished. Furthermore, there's not even bait on the light boat. After a careful study for half a day, Yi Chen's gaze became solemn. This ancient forbidden grounds is too mysterious. I really don't know what underlying meaning these variety of rules have. However, since the rules state that this rod can catch bonefire spirit fish, then this rod must have some divine skills above it. As for what kind of bonefire spirit fish can be caught and what kind of ice flame cave can be entered, it probably depends on fortune and combat power. With just over 3 days left, it is imperative to catch bonefire spirit fish. The more bonefire spirit fish caught, the more ice flame caves can be entered, and the higher the probability of obtaining golden 9 mystic silk. Thinking of this, Yi Chen's mind moved, and he picked up the fishing rod. Whiz! He gently swung the rod, and the line with the hook flew into the lake, leaving only a tiny float quietly suspended on the water's surface. Yi Chen had long discovered that coming to the 9th region, divine sense was completely unaffected above the lake, but trying to probe below with divine sense was entirely impossible. This left Yi Chen only able to rely on the float and his senses to use the rod to fish for bonefire spirit fish. While Yi Chen was in action, in the region where the sovereign resides, Elder Shuya and Elder Tianhua also began their actions. All 3 had started competing for bonefire spirit fish and golden 9 mystic silk. This competition will officially end after the 27th day of their entry into the ancient forbidden grounds. On Yi Chen's side, Yi Chen stood on the light boat, holding the fishing rod with his arm completely still, and even his mind and spirit were entirely calm. Even though he knew it was a race against time, Yi Chen understood that he couldn't rush at this moment. Otherwise, he would alert the bonefire spirit fish and waste half a day without catching one, which would waste more time. Yi Chen was unaware that beneath the lake he couldn't see. The hook lacking even bait was emitting a strange, misty golden light. This golden light directly attracted many bonefire spirit fish swimming beneath the lake. However, these bonefire spirit fish swam around the hook for a long time without biting. It wasn't until Yi Chen waited for about an hour that finally, a bonefire spirit fish, several meters long, suddenly lunged at the hook. The next moment, Yi Chen on the small boat saw the float move greatly. An immense force suddenly pulled towards his hand. This force was even stronger than the combat power blood flying yen used when they fought. Yet, the seemingly ordinary translucent fishing line showed no sign of breaking under this massive pulling force. All the strength was transmitted to Yi Chen's arm. If it were anyone else, being pulled by the bonefire spirit fish from beneath the lake might have directly pulled them into the lake. One must know, without the flames protecting one after a bonefire spirit fish dies, falling into the lake would undoubtedly mean death. However, at this moment, Yi Chen on the small boat felt the force coming, and instead of panicking, his expression brightened. Yi Chen knew a bonefire spirit fish had taken the bait. This massive pulling force might be unstoppable for others, but for Yi Chen it posed no problem. Yi Chen had prepared everything long ago. At the moment the massive force reached his arm, the purple-gold stellar origin power within him was infused into his body. With a surge of divine power from Yi Chun, not only did the small boat not sway even a little under the immense force, but Yi Chun even directly dragged the bone fire spirit fish below upward to the lake's surface using the fishing line. This fishing method is a contest of strength between the angler and the bone fire spirit fish, forgoing the various skills of normal fishing. It would be much more dangerous for someone with insufficient combat power. But for Yi Chun it was much easier. Not worried about the fishing line breaking, with combat power far exceeding the strength of the bone fire spirit fish below, Yi Chun gave a shake of his arm and pulled the several-meter-long bone fire spirit fish up from beneath the lake. Wow! With a great flip of its body, the bone fire spirit fish was immediately dragged out of the lake. Then, with a sudden grab of his large hand, Yi Chun directly confined the bone fire spirit fish in the void. The bone fire spirit fish even prepared to spew flames to attack Yi Chun, but both the flames and the fish were confined by the purple-gold stellar power. Yi Chun finally saw the appearance of this exotic beast in the 9th region. The bone fire spirit fish looked as though its entire body consisted only of bones. Yet eerily, the bones were not covered in fish flesh but rather wrapped in clusters of golden flames. The golden flames flickered, becoming occasionally transparent, allowing one to clearly see the internal bones of the bone fire spirit fish. What struck Yi Chun as peculiar was that mysterious sigils were carved on the bones of the bone fire spirit fish, as if they held some profound mystery. Yi Chun enveloped the sigils with his divine sense, remembering them in his mind. After completing his observation, Yi Chun extended his finger, and a purple-gold sword light suddenly shot out, slaying the bone fire spirit fish confined in the void on the spot. According to the rules of the 9th region, only by slaying the bone fire spirit fish can one obtain the special flames to enter the ice flame cave. After slaying the fish, Yi Chun immediately looked towards its position. There, he saw a golden flame flying directly towards him. On this golden flame were also inscribed various sigils, and Yi Chun found that these sigils matched exactly the ones he had remembered on the bones of the bone fire spirit fish earlier. They were simply many times larger in length. In an instant, the golden flame enveloped Yi Chun, and through the golden flame, Yi Chun sensed the location of the ice flame cave below the lake. Without hesitation, Yi Chun, wrapped in the golden flame, leaped into the lake. Mysteriously, upon entering the lake, Yi Chun could not swim in any other direction, but was instead pulled by an unknown force directly towards the sensed ice flame cave. He couldn't even observe the condition of other places in the lake. This pulling speed was extremely fast, and in about 10 breaths of time, Yi Chun flew to the front of a secret cave under the lake. Looking at this secret cave, a circular archway was revealed. Yi Chun noticed that this archway wasn't open. It was formed by clusters of terrifying, white icy flames. Just looking at these white icy flames, Yi Chun could feel that they were much stronger than any polar sky-level flames he had acquired. However, Yi Chun did not employ the method to obtain this icy flame. After a moment of observation, he was directly pulled into the ice flame cave. Chapter 1009 Discovery. Inside this ice flame cave, it is roughly several hundred feet large. According to the rules of the 9th region, after entering the corresponding ice flame cave, using the special flame from the deceased bone fire spirit fish, there is a maximum of an hour to search. Of course, if one doesn't want to waste time searching within the ice flame cave, simply walking to the exit of the cave will allow the special flame to immediately carry the challenger back to the lake's surface. Upon entering the several hundred feet large interior of the ice flame cave, Yi Chun immediately saw that the cave was empty. There was not a trace of golden 9 mystical silk, nor any other objects. All that could be seen were the walls of the ice flame cave, seemingly stacked with ice bricks. With limited time to find the golden 9 mystical silk, Yi Chun certainly wouldn't spend an hour searching this small space of several hundred feet. After all, this wasn't the only ice flame cave to look for. Of course, Yi Chun wouldn't just leave without any attempt simply because nothing was found upon entry. Seeing that there were no golden 9 mystical silk in this ice flame cave, Yichun turned his attention to the structures resembling ice bricks on the cave walls. Yichun used his divine sense to probe these ice bricks. To Yichun's astonishment, several dozen of these ice bricks emitted a flame-like heat, yet transformed into intense cold instantly. Amidst this juxtaposition of heat and cold, Yichun sensed some pattern changes within these several dozens of ice bricks. Yichun looked carefully at these patterns, and, after observing for a while, was shocked. The patterns inside these ice bricks were exactly the same as those on the bone fire spirit fish he had previously slain, and in their transformation, they slowly formed into characters. Moments after the characters formed, they scattered back into patterns. Before long, they reformed into characters, repeating this cycle over and over. After observing these patterns and characters for a long time, Yichun discovered the law within them. Specific patterns directly corresponded to specific characters. The patterns on the entire bone fire spirit fish were distributed within these ice bricks, forming more than 20 irregular characters. After he observed it all, Yichun had a flash of inspiration in his mind, as if he vaguely grasped something crucial. However, this feeling faded quickly, and he did not hold on to this fleeting insight. Ultimately, Yichun, with questions lingering, walked to the exit of the ice flame cave after his observations. Rumble. Upon reaching the exit, the special flame of the bone fire spirit fish on Yichun's body instantly carried him out of the ice flame cave, into the lake water, and finally sped him towards the lake's surface. After a dozen breaths, Yichun returned to the small boat. As he returned to the boat, the first cluster of special flame from the first bone fire spirit fish he had slain finally dissipated. Without hesitation, Yichun picked up the fishing rod and started fishing for another bone fire spirit fish. This time, after 2 cups of tea worth of time, Yichun caught another bone fire spirit fish. Then, Yichun killed this bone fire spirit fish and obtained a second cluster of special flame, once again being taken into a second ice flame cave. In the second ice flame cave, nothing was present either. The golden 9 mystical silk still did not appear. However, inside the structures forming the walls of this ice flame cave, Yichun once again discovered those special patterns. The special patterns in this second ice flame cave were identical to those on the second bone fire spirit fish he had just slain. Moreover, they were also continually forming into characters. Upon seeing a pattern forming the character capture, Yichun's mind and spirit jumped. This character capture was also seen in the first ice flame cave. The patterns on the first and second bone fire spirit fish were vastly different, with only a single similarity, and that similarity formed the same character capture. The flash of insight that had brushed past Yichun's mind reappeared instantaneously. This time, Yichun finally understood what he was thinking earlier. Patterns, characters. There is a special connection between these two. Every pattern corresponds to a character. It's as if a great power holder shattered the characters into patterns, hiding them within the bone fire spirit fish bodies. And matching patterns correspond to the same character. These characters must hold a special rule, perhaps the rule for finding the golden 9 mystical silk, the innumerable ice flame caves below the lake. Yichun refused to believe that finding the golden 9 mystical silk was just about getting lucky by exploring caves. He believed there must be a pattern to it. After noting down the character pattern correspondences in the second ice flame cave, Yichun left it and returned to the small boat. In 2 ice flame caves, tens of patterns were observed, and apart from the common character capture, the other characters differed. Yichun had recorded all the pattern character correspondences. Then, Yichun once again started fishing for another bone fire spirit fish. After Yichun's combat power broke through to the unbelievable sovereign level, even though the 9th region exotic beasts are the most powerful exotic beasts across the 9 regions, Yichun felt no pressure. Kill, kill, kill. The number of bone fire spirit fish Yichun killed increased. The number of ice flame caves he entered with the special flames obtained after the death of the bone fire spirit fish also increased. The rune text that Yi-chun discovered corresponding to the patterns became more frequent. After half a day, when Yi-chun killed the 39th bone fire spirit fish and entered the 39th ice flame cave, his eyes lit up. This time, inside this ice flame cave, Yi-chun finally saw a strand of golden 9 profound threads placed at the center of the cave. It was a strand with 5 golden spots. After carefully collecting this strand of golden 9 profound threads, Yi-chun did not leave but continued to explore the ice bricks forming the cave walls. Then, Yi-chun saw more text corresponding to the patterns. This time, Yi-chun was so shocked that he jumped. He saw that the text formed by the patterns inside the ice bricks spelled out a sentence. Pardon, infinite, profound, exotic, accomplish, 9, spirit. The sentence seemed random, yet Yi-chun knew it intimately. It was clearly a sentence from the first unnamed mantra that he had obtained in the 4th region. Boom! In an instant, a divine light flashed through Yi-chun's mind. He seemed to understand everything. The unnamed mantra corresponds to the golden 9 profound threads? If the text formed from the patterns on the bone fire spirit fish matches a sentence from the unnamed mantra, then there will be golden 9 profound threads within the corresponding ice flame cave. Thinking of this possibility, Yi-chun's mind and spirit were stirred, and he immediately left the ice flame cave and returned to the light boat. Then Yi-chun began fishing again. He needed to verify this hypothesis. Fishing, fishing, and more fishing. As time passed, the rune text Yi-chun deciphered became more frequent, and he entered more ice flame caves. When he fished the 55th bone fire spirit fish and entered the 55th ice flame cave, Yi-chun found another strand with 3 spots of golden 9 profound threads. This time, in the cave possessing the golden 9 profound threads, Yi-chun once again discovered the text corresponding to the patterns inside. And to Yi-chun's delight, these characters matched a sentence from the unnamed mantra. His hypothesis was correct. Indeed, if the text formed by the patterns on a bone fire spirit fish matched a sentence from the unnamed mantra, then the corresponding ice flame cave would have golden 9 profound threads. Moreover, Yi-chun found that the further the corresponding sentence was in the unnamed mantra, the more precious the golden 9 profound threads in the ice flame cave. Thinking this, a thought flashed through Yi-chun's mind. If he were to understand all the text corresponding to the patterns on bone fire spirit fish, wouldn't he be able to avoid wasting time entering ice flame caves and simply check the text on the bone fire spirit fish to see if it matched the unnamed mantra? After fishing 55 bone fire spirit fish, Yi-chun noticed the same text appeared more frequently, indicating a finite number of rune patterns, and he could truly understand all the text corresponding to the patterns. Wow! The special flame flickered, and Yi-chun returned to the light boat again. This time, as soon as Yi-chun caught another bone fire spirit fish, he did not rush to slaughter it. He directly examined the text on the bone fire spirit fish. Most of these patterns he had seen before on other bone fire spirit fish. Seeking, exceeding, cold, sound, long with. Yi-chun distinguished these patterns, using the text corresponding to the patterns observed earlier, and directly deduced the possible corresponding text from this bone fire spirit fish. These texts do not match any sentence from the unnamed mantra, and the few unknown patterns do not complete a full sentence. It seems the ice flame cave corresponding to this bone fire spirit fish will not contain any golden 9 profound threads. To confirm his hypothesis, Yi-chun killed this bone fire spirit fish and entered the new ice flame cave using the special flame obtained from its death. Sure enough, there were no golden 9 profound threads inside. Sure enough, within the ice bricks forming the ice flame cave walls, he saw the text he had guessed. Seeking, exceeding, cold, sound, long with, and the corresponding text from the unknown patterns. Arrange, kue, long. This time, Yi-chun's mind and spirit were calm. He finally discovered the pattern to locate golden 9 profound threads. Chapter 1010-. The final competition. When Yi-chun returned to the small boat, his gaze was exceptionally bright. Ying! He flicked the fishing rod, and the line with the hook flew into the lake once again. Yi-chun began fishing once more. This time, it didn't take long before he caught another bone fire spirit fish. However, This time, after confining the bone fire spirit fish in the void, Yichun took just a glance at the patterns on the fish's body before directly killing it. Then, although the special flame generated by the death of the bone fire spirit fish flew onto Yichun, he didn't choose to use the flame to venture into the corresponding ice flame cave, because on this bone fire spirit fish, Yichun did not find any pattern resembling the unnamed spell. In this situation, there was no need to waste time searching for the golden 9-pattern silk in the ice flame cave. To Yi Chen's surprise, after not jumping into the lake in dozens of breaths, using the special flame to go to the corresponding ice flame cave, the special flame from the dead bone fire spirit fish dissipated from Yi Chen's body. Yi Chen pondered, thinking that the special flame must have sensed his abandonment of the search for the ice flame cave. Hence it automatically dissipated. From then, Yi Chen rapidly fished for bone fire spirit fish, using this method. Unless the bone fire spirit fish displayed an unseen pattern or a sentence from the unnamed mantra further back, he would venture into the ice flame cave to explore. With the discovery of the link between the unnamed mantra and the golden 9-pattern silk, Yi Chen spent less and less time looking for the golden 9-pattern silk and got larger yields. In the end, after 2 days, Yi Chen even summed up nearly 10,000 corresponding pattern sentence words, with hardly any unfamiliar pattern sentence words left. Under these circumstances, Yi Chen would only act when he caught a bone fire spirit fish with sentence patterns from the unnamed mantra. Then, he would investigate the corresponding ice flame cave. This approach greatly accelerated Yi Chen's search for the golden 9-pattern silk. 2 days passed, and he found a few strands of golden 9-pattern silk with 7 spots. With 1.5 days remaining before the end of the 27-day time frame specified for exploring all regions, Yi Chen stood on the small boat, gazing into the distance over the vast lake. After uncovering the connection between the unnamed mantra, the bone fire spirit fish patterns, and the golden 9-pattern silk, Yi Chen successfully found the 7-spotted golden 9-pattern silk. The 9th region rules previously mentioned that finding the 9-spotted golden 9-pattern silk was nearly impossible, and discovering the 8-spotted or 7-spotted golden 9-pattern silk would already be considered a great gain. Yi Chen had already found the 7-spotted golden 9-pattern silk, which was, logically, a good outcome. Yet Yi Chen was not satisfied. To him, 7-spotted golden 9-pattern silk was far from enough. After all, he wanted to compete with Dominion realm sovereigns in other regions. Only if the quality of his golden 9-pattern silk was superior could he enter a better ancient temple. 7-spotted golden 9-pattern silk wasn't enough to give Yi Chen confidence in surpassing the sovereign figure's gains in the 9th region. Finding the 9-spotted golden 9-pattern silk is almost impossible. Only this level of silk provides a significant hope in having an edge in competition with Dominion realm figures. Yi Chen's eyes shone brightly with determination, resolved to strive for the 9-spotted golden 9-pattern silk. In a competition, strive for the best. Knowing the unsurpassed divine fire within the 2nd ancient temple surpassed the ancient temple spirit fire ranked 3rd on the extreme heavenly divine fire list, Yi Chen naturally wanted to win it. Even in competition with Dominion realm figures, he would not give up. In the region where Dominion realm sovereigns were present, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya raced against time to fish for bone fire spirit fish, searching for golden 9-pattern silk. These two, as the most formidable 9-star sovereigns of the 9 Flames clan and Blood Wing clan, certainly had exceptional vision. Yi Chen discovered the secret of the connection between the internal patterns in the ice bricks within the ice flame cave. And these 2 9-star sovereigns discovered this secret as well. Yi Chen had obtained the first part of the unnamed mantra at the 4th region, and these 2 sovereigns also discovered the first part of the unnamed mantra. They also found the connection between the unnamed mantra and the patterns on the bone fire spirit fish. However, back then Yi Chen, through immense patience and special intuition, discovered the second part of the unnamed mantra at the 7th region. And within these 2 sovereigns, Elder Shuya of the Blood Wing clan never found the second part of the unnamed mantra. Only the Elder Tianhua of the 9 Flames clan, like Yi Chen, also obtained the second part of the nameless mantra, and Yi Chun, in his search for the seven-spotted golden 9 profound threads, had already used a line from the second part of the nameless mantra. It was upon discovering that this line was linked to the patterns on the bone fire spirit fish that Yi Chun decisively entered the ice flame cave and acquired the seven-spotted golden 9 profound threads. Elder Shuya, not having acquired the second part of the nameless mantra at all, couldn't use it to match and find the pattern text, thus falling significantly behind Yi Chun and Elder Tianhua. When Yi Chun discovered the seven-spotted golden 9 profound threads, Elder Tianhua, with both sharp sight and fortune, found a strand of 8-spotted golden 9 profound threads. On the other hand, Elder Shuya, after 2 days, found only the most precious golden 9 profound threads with 5 spots. This made Elder Shuya extremely anxious. However, he also had his advantages. Although Elder Shuya's strength was not as great as Elder Tianhua's, before coming to the ancient Forbidden Grounds, the Blood Origin Divine Master of the Blood Wing clan gave him several divine treasures for acquiring the unsurpassed divine fire, as well as divine treasures to resolve danger. Among them was a miraculous object to recover combat power. In the 9th region, the bone fire spirit fish Yi Chun dealt with had supreme combat power at the level of an upper immortal divine venerable, whereas the ones Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya dealt with were at the extreme combat power of a 9-star sovereign. Yi Chun, due to the starry origin power, surpassed the combat threat of the bone fire spirit fish. But Elder Shuya and Elder Tianhua were different. Every battle they engaged in with the bone fire spirit fish required a considerable expenditure of energy. In these circumstances, Elder Shuya relied on the miraculous object bestowed by the Blood Origin Divine Master to recover combat power, which saved him a lot of time. In fact, he managed to kill more bone fire spirit fish than Elder Tianhua. Elder Tianhua had the advantage of the second part of the nameless mantra, while Elder Shuya had the advantage of the divine objects bestowed by the Divine Master. Although Elder Tianhua used fortune and sight to first find the 8-spotted golden 9 profound threads, Elder Shuya, without the second part of the nameless mantra, often had to check the ice flame cave. But on the 3rd day, his luck exploded and he suddenly found a strand of 7-spotted golden 9 profound threads. The time left for the exploration of the 9 major regions was getting shorter and shorter. The competition between Yi Chun, Elder Tianhua, and Elder Shuya also reached its final stage. When there was only half a day left, Yi Chun, Elder Tianhua, and Elder Shuya all successfully obtained the beast spirit of the bone fire spirit fish. What lay before them was only the final task, finding the most precious golden 9 profound threads. When only 4 hours remained, the most precious golden 9 profound threads Elder Tianhua found were still 8 spots, and for Elder Shuya and Yi Chun, the most precious golden 9 profound threads they found still remained at 7 spots. At this point, Elder Shuya was already a bit flustered. When only 3 hours remained, the 3 still had no new gains. Even Elder Tianhua was frowning. After all, the golden 9 profound threads not only concerned the competition for better unsurpassed divine fire among sovereign realm and below, but also related to using the 9 types of 9 profound threads to take out the unsurpassed divine fire from the ancient temple. In the previous 8 regions, Elder Tianhua had obtained the most precious 9 spots 9 profound threads, but in this 9th region, even though he obtained the 8 spots golden 9 profound threads, he was not confident he could smoothly acquire the unsurpassed divine fire with 8 types of 9 spots and 1 type of 8 spots 9 profound threads. By then, even if he won the competition against those below the sovereign realm and entered a better ancient temple, if he couldn't acquire the unsurpassed divine fire, it would all be in vain. This made him completely uneasy. When only 2 hours remained, on Yi Chun's side, standing on a single leaf boat, Yi Chun suddenly made up his mind. During more than 3 days, Yi Chun had fished countless bone fire spirit fish, even switching several lake regions to fish, yet could only get the 7-spotted golden 9 profound threads, which didn't satisfy him at all. With time running short, Yi Chun felt that at this rate, he would be lucky to find an 8-spotted golden 9 profound threads, and the chance of finding a 9-spotted golden 9 profound threads was exceedingly slim. In these circumstances, Yi Chun thought of one last method. Transformation, the changeable divine ability, from the Tai chapter of the primordial star scripture. Yichen contemplated that if he used the changeable divine ability to transform into a bone-fire spirit fish, perhaps he could enter the lake to search for other bone-fire spirit fish and discover the most precious one. Of course, this idea carried enormous risks. After all, the rules of the ninth region stated that even divine masters would surely perish if they entered the lake without special flame protection. And if using special flame protection, one would be taken directly to the corresponding ice flame cave by the special flame, making it impossible to observe other areas. There was still immense death risk in transforming into a bone-fire spirit fish. Chapter 1011- Ownership of the Ancient Temple. Finally, as time runs out, Yichen considers that the ZG Star Lord who left behind the primordial star scripture is a prominent figure at the pinnacle of the cosmic sea. The divine skills left behind, even though the creator of this ancient forbidden grounds may be powerful, it's unlikely they surpass the ZG Star Lord. The possibility of seeing through the changeable divine ability of the Tai chapter is also extremely small. Fortune favors the bold. Now at the ninth region, Yichen is certainly unwilling to give up the potential gains. Once he obtains the unsurpassed divine fire, ranked among the top 3 on the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list, it would greatly enhance his abilities. Later, Yichen will head to the Extreme Spirit Sea to find General Insha. Yichen has already judged from various situations that there may be issues with General Insha, which will make his journey to the Extreme Spirit Clan increasingly uncontrollable. In such a situation, the more strategies, the better. Moreover, Yichen does not wish to leave the treasure land empty-handed. This mysterious ancient forbidden grounds, with its most precious ancient temple at the end, he is certainly eager to enter. Yichen even has a vague feeling that perhaps the mysteries inside the ancient forbidden grounds are not just limited to the unsurpassed divine fire. Otherwise, the creator who left behind the 9 regions would not have designed such complex rules. In the end, Yichen finally made up his mind to bravely give it a try. Of course, even though bravely risking it, Yichen would not leave no way out, would not recklessly disregard the danger to his life. Yichen dares to take this risk because there's something that reassures him greatly, which is the Star's Tower, left by the ZG Star Lord. Right now, Yichen can control the storage divine power of the Star's Tower. If he really encounters a life-threatening situation after transforming and entering the lake, he would immediately draw his entire self into the Star's Tower to escape the crisis. Based on Yichen's understanding of the Star's Tower, even if this lake can kill a divine master, it probably cannot destroy the Star's Tower. Thinking of this, Yichen gritted his teeth, and once the changeable divine ability of the Tai chapter from the primordial star scripture was activated, his whole person transformed into a bone-fire spirit fish. This is the changeable divine ability of the Tai chapter, and now Yichen is identical to a real bone-fire spirit fish. Even the patterns on the bones and the golden flames outside the bones are exactly the same as those of the bone-fire spirit fish he once caught but did not take to the ice flame cave. The next moment, transformed into a bone-fire spirit fish, Yichen leaped into the lake. Splash! With the water rolling, Yichen completely disappeared into the lake. Safety zone of the sovereigns. Among the 18 star sovereigns who entered the ancient forbidden grounds, 3 died during the exploration of the 9 regions, while Elder Shuya and Elder Tianhua were still exploring the 9th region. The remaining 13, who have been teleported to the safety zone, silently waited. It's getting closer. The 27-day time limit to finish exploring the 9 regions was getting nearer. The hearts of the 13 9-star sovereigns were in suspense. Previously, they had already seen through the light screen that the leading figures of the 2 clans, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya, had barged into the 9th region. Soon, they were about to witness which of these 2 mighty figures would cross the 9th region and enter the ancient temple to seize the unsurpassed divine fire. Bang! 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 An hour left, half an hour left. Even the knowledgeable 9-star sovereigns found their hearts pounding as time drew near. After all, This exploration of the ancient forbidden grounds involved two types of unsurpassed divine fire, which could possibly change the power of their entire clan. Of course, they cared immensely. Another safety zone for individuals below the sovereign realm. At this time, Kai Menger, Kai Shower, the members of the Nine Flames clan, and the Bloodwing clan all had their hearts in their throats as well. They were also awaiting the final moment, waiting to see if Yi Chun, who ventured into the 9th region, could break into the ancient temple. Time passed, and the wait in the two safety zones finally came to an end. The 27-day exploration time of the 9 regions also finally ended. Splash. At the moment the 27 days ended, in the safety zone where individuals below the sovereign realm were, Kai Menger, Kai Shower, and others immediately saw the previous light screen reappear. And this time what shocked them was that this time 2 screens appeared. The figure in one light screen was extremely familiar to them, none other than Yi Chun. And the figure in the other light screen was also extremely familiar. Surprisingly, the strongest figures of the 2 clans, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya. At this moment, as the time to enter the 2 ancient temples arrived, individuals below the sovereign realm not only saw Yi Chun entering the ancient temple, but also saw Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya of the sovereign realm enter the ancient temple. Meanwhile, in the safety zone for sovereign realm individuals, the 13 9-star sovereigns not only saw Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya, but also Yi Chun, whom they had never seen before. They saw with their own eyes the image of Yi Chun appearing on the light screen. Yi Chun, who had entered the ancient temple. What shocked everyone in the 2 safe zones the most was 2 light screens, one high and one low. The one where Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya were was at the lower position, while the one Yi Chun was in was at the higher position. At the same time, the light screen also stated, the only person below the sovereign realm to enter the ancient temple, performing better in the 9th region, will enter the better 2nd ancient temple. There are 2 sovereign realm personnel who will enter the slightly inferior 1st ancient temple. These 3 people will respectively try to obtain the unsurpassed divine fire in their respective ancient temples. Upon seeing this, everyone in the 2 safe zones couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that someone below the sovereign realm would defeat Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya in the competition, entering a better ancient temple. Kai Menger and Kai Shower, the 2 sisters, were completely stunned. Bang! Bang! Amidst 2 flashes of divine light, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya directly appeared in an ancient temple. Upon seeing this ancient temple, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya exclaimed simultaneously, "The ancient temple I entered is actually the one with the ancient temple spirit fire." The 2 of them had entered this ancient temple before and had seen the ancient temple spirit fire. Of course, they recognized it at a glance. And the reason they exclaimed was that they previously learned from the rules of the 9th region that the ancient temple with the ancient temple spirit fire was not as good as the other ancient temple. At this point, they arrived in the ancient temple housing the ancient temple spirit fire, which clearly indicated that they were on the losing side in the competition against someone below the sovereign realm. Who is it? Which person below the sovereign realm entered a better ancient temple, about to witness a better, unsurpassed divine fire? Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya were deeply shocked. They couldn't see the situation elsewhere and had no idea which person below the sovereign realm had entered a better ancient temple. Moreover, Elder Shuya had a bad premonition. Previously, he was convinced that among those below the sovereign realm, the 2 experts, Shuling Chan and Blood Flying Yen, from the Bloodwing clan he belonged to, would not lose to the others in competition. But now Elder Shuya no longer dared to think so, because he knew even Shuling Chan and Blood Flying Yen could not surpass his achievements. Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya even temporarily forgot to compete for the ancient temple spirit fire. They simultaneously took out the divine object recording the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list that they carried with them, because they knew that once that person below the sovereign realm entered a better ancient temple and saw a divine fire stronger than the ancient temple spirit fire, that divine fire would manifest in reality. If that were to happen, that flame would undoubtedly ascend to the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list and surpass the position of the ancient temple spirit fire. They were eager to see what name the better unsurpassed divine fire would be given. In the 2 safe zones, Even two 9-star sovereigns were astounded by the ancient temple allocation event. Yet Yi Chen directly appeared inside an ancient temple. This ancient temple was indeed the better second ancient temple. In the previous competition for the Golden 9 Profound Threads, the achievements Yi Chen secured surpassed those of Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya. Now, standing inside the great hall of the ancient temple, Yi Chen still felt his heart pounding when recalling the scene of transforming and then diving into the mysterious lake earlier. A few hours ago, operating the Tai chapter of the primordial star scripture Transformability Divine Skill, turning into a bone fire spirit fish, Yi Chen entered the lake and immediately felt the lake water pressing towards him. However, to his delight, his prediction was correct, and after completely transforming into a bone fire spirit fish, Yi Chen became an unrecognizable bone fire spirit fish, completely unnoticed by the lake. The lake didn't kill transformability-empowered Yi Chen. In this situation, Yi Chen was, of course, ecstatic. The bone fire spirit fish he transformed into swam beneath the lake just like other bone fire spirit fish, continuously moving. However, unlike other bone fire spirit fish who simply swam, Yi Chen observed the patterns on the other bone fire spirit fish while swimming, comparing them with the nameless spell, memorizing distinct patterns. Under these circumstances, Yi Chen discovered that the bone fire spirit fish with patterns similar to the nameless spell wordings swam much faster. Soon, Yi Chen noticed a bone fire spirit fish with patterns corresponding to the penultimate line of the second segment of the nameless spell, which probably corresponded to a golden 9 profound threads with 8 spots. However, Yi Chen was not impulsive. He continued searching for the most precious one corresponding to the last lines of the nameless spell. That bone fire spirit fish would give him the utmost assurance of the golden 9 profound threads with 9 spots. Racing against time beneath the lake, Yi Chen's swimming area was tens of times greater than the areas searched by Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya combined. Finally, Yi Chen found the bone fire spirit fish he sought, and he directly took it to fly fast toward the lake's surface. After successfully dispatched this bone fire spirit fish in the extremely secluded ice flame cave, Yi Chen finally found the trace of a 9-spotted golden 9 profound threads he had longed for. It was precisely with this 9-spotted golden 9 profound threads that he defeated Elder Tianhua's 8-spotted golden 9 profound threads and Elder Shuya's 7-spotted golden 9 profound threads. Entering the second ancient temple, came before the even more precious, unsurpassed divine fire. Chapter 1012 Heavenly Forbidden Flame. Recalling the previous experience of venturing into the 9th region, Yi Chen's gaze directly shifted towards the temple hall. Yi Chen immediately noticed a massive void in the center of the hall, resembling a deep well right at the center. Swoosh! Yi Chen moved swiftly, arriving beside the enormous void. Then Yi Chen looked directly into the void. The abyss within the void was deep, truly resembling a deep well. However, Yi Chen's gaze was entirely drawn to a golden flame hovering several hundred feet below, suspended in the void. Upon seeing this flame, its name instantly imprinted itself into Yi Chen's mind. Heavenly Forbidden Flame. Yi Chen immediately realized that this golden flame must be another type of unsurpassed divine fire, even stronger than the ancient temple spirit fire. Bang! 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 What Yi Chen didn't know was that the moment he saw the heavenly forbidden flame, it marked its emergence in the world. This emergence of the unsurpassed divine fire attracted the attention of countless strong cultivators in the universe involved in divine fire cultivation. Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya, who had been constantly observing the movements of the divine object recording the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list, directly saw a blaze transform into a flame, soar out before them, and form a new list. It's understood that unless the divine object proactively reveals the list, only when new divine fire enters the list and alters its ranking will the divine object actively display the list. Observing the divine object automatically displaying the list now, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya were startled, having a premonition that the emergence of another unsurpassed divine fire from the ancient temples led to changes in the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list. The two 9-star sovereigns instinctively looked at the list before them. Their eyes went straight to the top 3 positions. Bang! Upon seeing, the two were shocked nearly to the point of fainting. Previously, the top 3 of Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list were: first, Ice Extinction Flame; second, Supreme Dark True Fire; and a very familiar third, Ancient Temple Spirit Fire. But at this moment, the Ancient Temple Spirit Fire was directly squeezed to 4th. Even the previously 2nd-ranked Supreme Dark True Fire was relegated to 3rd, and a new Divine Fire directly occupied the 2nd position on the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list. The 2 9-star sovereigns saw that this new Divine Fire was named Heavenly Forbidden Flame, Heavenly Forbidden Flame, Ancient Forbidden Grounds. This newly listed Divine Fire must be the superior, unsurpassed Divine Fire within another ancient temple. Even though they were aware that another type of Divine Fire was stronger than the Ancient Temple Spirit Fire, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya did not expect this new fire to surpass the Supreme Dark True Fire. Ranking 2nd, they were aware that the Supreme Dark True Fire was a Divine Fire obtained with extreme difficulty by the highest ranking group in all advanced cosmic life forms, the Moke Ancient Clan. Moreover, they had heard about the power of the Supreme Dark True Fire. They did not expect a newly emerged Divine Fire from the Ancient Forbidden Grounds to surpass the Supreme Dark True Fire, directly taking the 2nd position on the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list, only slightly weaker than the top-ranked Ice Extinction Flame. While Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya were shocked within the first ancient temple, countless sovereigns and those below the sovereign realm in 2 major safe zones also felt their divine objects recording the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list bang 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 activating, revealing the list. Upon seeing the newly appeared 2nd-ranked Heavenly Forbidden Flame, dozens of people in these 2 safe zones had their mouths wide open in amazement. Moke Extreme Origin Star is a star where the core clan land of the Moke Ancient Clan is located. A several thousand feet cliff on Moke Extreme Origin Star had the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list hanging high. Clan members of the Moke Ancient Clan frequently trained below the cliff. Typically, they would look at the 2nd-ranked name on the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list, Supreme Dark True Fire, to motivate themselves to practice hard. Because the Supreme Dark True Fire is the clan's unsurpassed Divine Fire. Only the strongest sovereign within their clan can use it. On that day, Moke Ancient Clan members were quietly training when suddenly they heard a roaring sound from the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list. This roaring sound signified a change in the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list. The typical sound of change had been heard before by the clan members training below the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list, causing only minor surprise, not real shock. However, when they looked up at the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list, it was a whoosh, and everyone stood up in shock, because they saw this time was no small change. This time, the 2nd position on the Extreme Heavenly Divine Fire list, which they were so familiar with, was occupied by a new name. The 2nd line changed directly to Extreme Heavenly Divine Fire list 2nd. Heavenly Forbidden Flame emerged in the world, yet still unowned and in a masterless state. The Supreme Dark True Fire, previously ranked 2nd owned by their clan, directly dropped to 3rd place. This change astonished the members of the Moke Ancient Clan to the extreme. These clan members promptly sent messages within the clan. In no time, countless members of the Moke Ancient Clan gathered below the cliff towering tens of thousands of feet high. Among them were not only many 9-star sovereigns, but also several Dominion Realm figures who had returned from the Cosmic Sea to the Moke Ancient Clan. The great figures of the Dominion Realm were not too surprised by the changes in the Extreme Heavenly Divine Fire list. After all, while the Divine Fires on the list were of some use to them, they were not very significant. They were only slightly startled for a moment when they saw the new 2nd-ranked unsurpassed Divine Fire. However, the 9-star sovereigns of the Moke Ancient Clan were greatly shocked. The Divine Fires on the Extreme Heavenly Divine Fire list were truly of great use to them. A newly emerged unsurpassed Divine Fire, Heavenly Forbidden Flame, yet unowned by anyone. The 9-star sovereigns of the Moke Ancient Clan couldn't help but want to search for this new Divine Fire. Unfortunately, this universe is vast beyond measure. Even a divine master cannot claim to explore all regions. As 9-star sovereigns, it's even less likely for them to discover the location of this newly listed unsurpassed divine fire. Not only the Moke ancient clan, but countless ancient clan and divine kingdom experts specializing in divine fires were also actively speculating at this moment. Everyone was guessing about the whereabouts of the newly emerged, heavenly forbidden flame, true spirit divine kingdom, Blood Wing clan territory. When the heavenly forbidden flame emerged, the Blood Origin Divine Master similarly noticed the change in the extreme heavenly divine fire list. With a swish, the Blood Origin Divine Master stood up directly. Shuya and the others are exploring the ancient forbidden grounds. Considering time, it hasn't been long since it's been a month. Those ancient forbidden grounds being a place where divine fires are born. Could it be that the newly emerged, heavenly forbidden flame is related to the ancient forbidden grounds? Have Shuya and the others seen this heavenly forbidden flame? If not for the immense power of the ancient forbidden grounds, even as a divine master, the Blood Origin Divine Master would have been tempted to fly into the ancient forbidden grounds himself to find out. After a while, the Blood Origin Divine Master calmed down. Looking at the extreme heavenly divine fire list, record list divine object in his hand, he sighed, "Divine Master, respected among countless divine kingdoms in this cosmic realm, yet too weak in the cosmic sea, blocked by just one ancient forbidden grounds. These divine objects that record new unsurpassed divine fires as soon as they appear on the extreme heavenly divine fire list were casually crafted and scattered into this universe by that cosmic emperor who created the list. If I had the strength of that cosmic emperor, discovering the locations of various unsurpassed divine fires would just be easy. Too weak, still too weak." After a bout of sighing, the Blood Origin Divine Master looked again at the second position of the extreme heavenly divine fire list, the heavenly forbidden flame. An insight flashed in his eyes. The appearance of a new, unsurpassed divine fire indicates someone has seen it, which means that heavenly forbidden flame must have already been encountered by someone. Now, without a master yet, indicates that person hasn't successfully claimed the heavenly forbidden flame, much like the unclaimed ancient temple spirit fire. Let's see whether the person who encountered this heavenly forbidden flame will claim it. The Blood Origin Divine Master vigilantly watched the extreme heavenly divine fire list, wanting to see if further details about the heavenly forbidden flame would change. Elsewhere, members of the Moke ancient clan and countless divine kingdom divine fire cultivators were also observing changes in the extreme heavenly divine fire list. Everyone knew that the first few days after an unsurpassed divine fire emerges are the most likely for it to be claimed. They too wanted to see if this heavenly forbidden flame, which debuted at second place on the extreme heavenly divine fire list, would have a master appear. In the first ancient temple, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya saw the heavenly forbidden flame was still unclaimed and similarly thought the personnel below the sovereign realm might still not have claimed this divine fire. At this point, they also realized they were beside the ancient temple spirit fire, and they needed to claim the ancient temple spirit fire as well. This time, they both had the 9 profound threads for claiming divine fire and could once again try to claim the ancient temple spirit fire. Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya exchanged a glance and simultaneously flew to the side of the huge tunnel where the ancient temple spirit fire was located. Meanwhile, standing in the second ancient temple, Yichan saw the appearance of the heavenly forbidden flame and finally took out the 9 kinds of 9 spots 9 profound threads he had found across 9 regions. Yichan was finally going to claim the heavenly forbidden flame. Chapter 1013- List Changes and Forbidden Changes. Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya sighed. The 2 9-star sovereigns almost simultaneously flew to the giant cave where the ancient temple spirit fire was located. Fellow Tianhua, do you want to have a contest with me first to determine a winner before taking the ancient temple spirit fire? Or do we each try to take the ancient temple spirit fire with our skills and then have a contest? Elder Shuya looked at Elder Tianhua, sneering as he spoke. Although Elder Shuya's combat power wasn't as strong as Elder Tianhua's, he had no fear of Elder Tianhua at this moment due to the treasures bestowed upon him by the blood origin divine master. Seeing Elder Shuya's expression, a glint flashed and disappeared in Elder Tianhua's eyes. As if having thought of something, Elder Tianhua smiled at Elder Shuya and said, "Since fellow Shuya says so, it seems you are quite confident in claiming the ancient temple spirit fire. Then go ahead, fellow Taoist, you should try first." Elder Tianhua generously waved his hand, signaling for Elder Shuya to take action. Elder Tianhua understood that since neither of them might succeed in claiming the ancient temple spirit fire, they could do nothing. Yet if either of them managed to take the ancient temple spirit fire, the other would definitely not let it be taken away easily. A great battle is inevitable then. Therefore, the order of who takes it first does not matter. For Elder Tianhua, watching Elder Shuya make his move while acting afterward might not be a bad idea. Seeing Elder Tianhua's expression, Elder Shuya seemed to understand what was on Elder Tianhua's mind. However, he coldly snorted and looked down at the ancient temple spirit fire under the giant cave. In Elder Shuya's mind, if he still couldn't take the ancient temple spirit fire this time, he definitely wouldn't let Elder Tianhua succeed. So he had no reason to care about Elder Tianhua's thoughts. Immediately, standing by the giant cave, Elder Shuya began his action directly. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. In an instant, Elder Shuya took out all the 9 profound threads he found earlier in the 9 regions. Among these 9 types of 9 profound threads, apart from the gold-colored 9 profound thread, with 7 spots from the 9th region, the remaining 8 had 9 spots. Then, Elder Shuya directly shook his hand, and the 9 strands of 9 profound threads in his hand enveloped the ancient temple spirit fire, hundreds of feet deep under the giant cave. The event that made Elder Shuya invigorate occurred. Previously, he had tried several times to collect the ancient temple spirit fire. Yet each time, regardless of the treasure he used for collection, once it entered the cave, it got burned into void. During those attempts, he couldn't even shake the ancient temple spirit fire by a fraction. But this time, with 9 types of 9 profound threads moving together, these threads firing into the cave became exceptionally long, intertwining to form a web-like network of fire threads and directly enveloping the ancient temple spirit fire, successfully pulling it up after just a dozen breaths. This sight made Elder Shuya rejoice. Beside him, Elder Tianhua's face changed, and he slightly clenched his fists within his sleeves, pulling up, pulling further up. Under the tug of the 9 types of 9 profound threads, the ancient temple spirit fire slowly rose, getting closer to the cave's opening. When it rose from hundreds of feet deep to about 50 or 60 feet from the cave's opening, Elder Shuya, initially showing a joyful expression, suddenly widened his eyes. At the same time, the last strand of the 7-spotted gold-colored 9 profound thread in his hand suddenly snapped. With this 9th thread broken, the web of fire threads formed by the 9 types of 9 profound threads instantly shattered, causing the ancient temple spirit fire, painstakingly pulled up, to drop down. In a moment of panic, Elder Shuya couldn't help but try to continue pulling the ancient temple spirit fire with the remaining 9 profound threads. But to his dismay, after managing to lift it only 10 feet this time, the remaining 8 threads simultaneously snapped. Ultimately, the ancient temple spirit fire fell back down, returning to the hundreds of feet deep floating position, fell short at the last step. Seeing this scenario, Elder Shuya's expression turned incredibly grim, whereas Elder Tianhua's secretly clenched fist subtly relaxed. "Fellow Shuya, it seems you failed." Elder Tianhua smiled at Elder Shuya. "Now it's my turn." Elder Shuya glared at Elder Tianhua. "Humph, fellow Tianhua. We both failed in the competition against the personnel below the sovereign realm, which transmitted us to this first ancient temple. This shows that you definitely don't have the 9-spotted gold-colored 9 profound thread. Otherwise, you would have been transmitted to the second ancient temple. Since you don't have the 9-spotted gold-colored 9 profound thread, you have at most 8 spots. Since I failed now, do you think you can succeed?" Elder Shuya's words made Elder Tianhua's face subtly change. But then, Elder Tianhua smiled and said, "After all, 8-spotted gold-colored 9 profound thread is stronger than 7-spotted ones. Maybe, Just a bit more, and I'll succeed. Elder Tianhua's words made Elder Shuya increasingly displeased. But Elder Shuya didn't back down. I still want to try. As he spoke, Elder Shuya patted his waist, and a storage ring flew out directly. Following it, 3 divine objects flew out from the storage ring. Chapter 10:14. Looking at these 3 divine objects, one could see that they were 3 large, shiny spiders, each about 30 feet long. Heavenly demon ancient spiders, exotic beasts of the cosmic sea. When Elder Tianhua saw these 3 enormous shimmering spiders, his expression changed. I didn't expect, Shuya, that you managed to obtain such great things. It seems that your Blood Wing clan has a divine master returning to the clan, and quite a formidable one at that. Even though he couldn't go to the Cosmic Sea himself as the first sovereign of the Nine Flames clan, Elder Tianhua knew many divine masters from the clan who traveled to the Cosmic Sea, of course. He had heard many stories about it and knew of the extraordinary nature of these heavenly demon ancient spiders. It was rumored that the webs spun by mature, heavenly demon ancient spiders were incredibly tough, even more so than many divine artifacts used by divine masters. Judging by the appearance of the 3 heavenly demon ancient spiders in front of him, they had undoubtedly reached maturity. Elder Tianhua knew that these were definitely treasures Elder Shuya had prepared to collect the ancient temple spiritual fire before coming to the heavenly ancient forbidden land. While Elder Tianhua was shocked, Elder Shuya was equally expectant as he watched the 3 heavenly demon ancient spiders. Then, he took out something that looked like a blue crystal and shone it on the 3 heavenly demon ancient spiders, prompting them to crawl towards the entrance of the giant cave where the ancient temple spiritual fire was located. The 3 heavenly demon ancient spiders formed a triangular formation and crouched at the entrance. At this sight, the blue crystal in Elder Shuya's hand emitted an even brighter divine light, and as if driven by the light, the 3 heavenly demon ancient spiders began to spin webs downwards. Elder Shuya watched the scene below the giant cave with immense anticipation. In past attempts to collect the ancient temple spiritual fire, he had obtained rare oddities at the divine master realm brought back from the cosmic sea by the clan's powerful figures, but all had been in vain. This time, the 3 heavenly demon ancient spiders were brought back by the Blood Origin Divine Master, the strongest of the Blood Wing clan in the cosmic sea, so he was full of hope for a miraculous result. However, what happened next left Elder Shuya in shock. The web spun by the 3 mature, heavenly demon ancient spiders, which were tougher than many divine artifacts driven by divine masters in the cosmic sea, were all incinerated into nothingness upon entering the cave's entrance below. This giant cave below could even burn the webs of the heavenly demon ancient spiders. If the incinerating power inside the cave wasn't targeted only at the cave's interior, perhaps these 3 heavenly demon ancient spiders crouched at the entrance would have been killed. This truly shocked Elder Shuya to the core. He had never imagined that even the heavenly demon ancient spiders found by the Blood Origin Divine Master would fail this time. Could it be that only with the 9 best 9 profound threads can the ancient temple spiritual fire be collected? Elder Shuya muttered in frustration. After 2 consecutive failures, he could only step aside reluctantly. This time it was Elder Tianhua's turn. Seeing Elder Shuya fail twice, Elder Tianhua became extremely serious. He took out all 9 types of 9 profound threads he had acquired. Indeed, his other 8 types of 9 profound threads had 9 spots, just like Elder Shuya's, but his final golden 9 profound thread was better than Elder Shuya's 7 spots, having 8 spots. Without much hesitation, Elder Tianhua directly drove the 9 types of 9 profound threads to envelope the ancient temple spiritual fire below the giant cave. This time, Elder Tianhua pulled up the ancient temple spiritual fire to a higher level than Elder Shuya previously did, even coming within 20-odd feet from the cave entrance. Yet in the end, his golden 9 profound thread with 8 spots still broke. Failure. Elder Tianhua also completely failed. The 2 9-star sovereigns thoroughly understood that when this heavenly ancient forbidden land said only the 9 types of 9 profound threads could collect the unsurpassed divine fire, It probably referred to the 9 types with 9 spots. They were only missing a bit, and it was all for naught. The terrifying incinerating force within the cave made them not dare to put anything else inside, as anything or anyone entering would be doomed. Their attempt to collect the ancient temple spiritual fire ended in failure again. While the 2 9-star sovereigns were utterly dejected, the divine object they wore, which recorded the extreme heaven divine fire list, transformed into a flame, revealing 2 extreme heaven divine fire list rankings. The rankings on the 2 extreme heaven divine fire lists displayed the second position as Extreme Heaven Divine Fire List Second, Heavenly Forbidden Flame, already owned, owner information unknown. Seeing this, how could the 2 9-star sovereigns not understand that while they struggled in vain to collect the ancient temple spiritual fire, someone below the sovereign realm, who entered an even better ancient temple, collected the heavenly forbidden flame? Although the owner of an unsurpassed divine fire could choose to hide their information if others hadn't seen them use the fire, they knew someone had entered the second ancient temple. So they knew it was that person below the sovereign realm who had collected the heavenly forbidden flame. Boom! 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 When Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya saw the changes on the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list, others in various regions who possessed the Extreme Heaven Divine Fire list also saw the changes. When everyone saw that the newly appeared second-ranked unsurpassed divine fire had already found an owner so quickly, their mouths hung open for a long time, unable to speak. In the second ancient temple, Yichun looked at the unsurpassed divine fire in his hand called Heavenly Forbidden Flame and murmured, "I didn't expect that acquiring the 9 types with 9 spots of the 9 profound threads and following the method described on the ancient steel to collect this heavenly forbidden flame would be so easy." If Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya heard Yichen's musings, they would probably be so infuriated they'd cough up blood. Having successfully collected the heavenly forbidden flame, I've come to understand many things about it. However, like the blue extreme ice flame, though I have collected this fire, I cannot fully wield it yet, only a part of its power. For now, I'll keep it safe and study it thoroughly later. While in the second ancient temple, Yichun couldn't shake off the feeling that there were other things inside, and he naturally wanted to explore thoroughly. However, when Yichun turned his head and looked deeper into the ancient temple, it wasn't long before his eyes widened. He saw the nameless incantation on the wall inside the ancient temple again. It was indeed a third section of the nameless incantation, different from the previous first and second sections. At the instant Yichun saw this third section of the nameless incantation, something even more unexpected happened. The first 2 sections of the nameless incantation he had seen earlier transformed into visibly clear characters, which flickered into the void. Meanwhile, the third section of the nameless incantation, engraved in the ancient temple, also transformed into visible characters and flew into the void together. In the next moment, the 3 sections of the nameless incantation combined together. Boom! 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 If Yichun could see the situation elsewhere at this moment, he would be astonished. All 18 ancient temples within the heavenly ancient forbidden land were emitting strange lights. Not only the 2 in which he and Elder Tianhua and the others were located, but even the 16 hidden temples behind them. Moreover, other than the heavenly ancient forbidden land, the other 7 forbidden lands across the true spirit divine kingdom were also emitting strange lights. Chapter 10:15-. Where is this? The mysterious light from all the regions converged at an unbelievable speed towards the 3 segments of nameless mantra within the second ancient temple where Yichun was. Even the other 7 forbidden grounds scattered across true spirit divine kingdom, separated by countless miles, gathered as well. It seemed as though the other 7 forbidden grounds were inexplicably connected to the ancient forbidden grounds. However, this mysterious light was invisible to people from all regions. Even those who flew over countless continents of the true spirit divine kingdom from the other 7 forbidden grounds saw nothing. Within the ancient forbidden grounds, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya did not see the mysterious light flying from the first ancient temple. But there was one exception. That exception was the exceptionally graceful woman located in the deepest part of the 18th ancient temple. The moment the mysterious light emitted from the 18th ancient temple, the graceful woman who was immersed in cultivation suddenly opened her eyes. Instantaneously, she seemed to witness the scene of the mysterious light emitted from all 18 ancient temples within the ancient forbidden grounds, including Yichan and the strange, nameless mantra characters before him in the second ancient temple. The graceful woman's beautiful eyes widened suddenly, as if she had thought of something. At the moment the mysterious light from the 18th ancient temple flew towards the second ancient temple where Yichan was. A strand of hair from the graceful woman's head flew out, transformed into an additional trace of mysterious light, merging with the existing light. Then, she closed her eyes again as she watched the mysterious light fly away. Her red lips murmured softly. The linkage of the 18 ancient temples indicates that this change may have some connection with the person who once left these 18 temples. Since I came here to suppress the eye of the demon, that person vanished without a trace. I don't know the reason behind this change. However, judging by the situation, this change will eventually fall upon that young man greatly linked with my master, and I must pay close attention. Although I need to guard the eye of the demon here and cannot leave freely, with my strand of hair involved in this change, I can be aware of all variables and keep an eye on subsequent developments. After murmuring softly, the graceful woman settled down once more. This peerless cosmic emperor, hidden within the ancient forbidden grounds, a supreme presence even within the cosmic sea, resumed her attempt to advance to the Star Lord realm. Inside the second ancient temple, Yichan stood with his mouth agape, watching the sudden change in the three segments of nameless mantra. I thought the first segment and the second segment of the nameless mantra were set for the golden 9 profound threads. Unexpectedly, there's a new change. The second ancient temple actually contains a third segment of nameless mantra, which is significantly connected to the first two segments. Now that these three segments of nameless mantra are converged together, what are they going to do? Yichan only perceived the characters formed by the three segments of the nameless mantra, flying into the void, without seeing the mysterious light from other regions converging towards these segments. Nor did he witness the mysterious light, after tens of breaths, merging into the nameless mantra segments, whether it came from the other 7 forbidden grounds or from the 18 ancient temples within the ancient forbidden grounds. Yichan only felt that, after tens of breaths, the merged nameless mantra characters brightened somewhat. However, even more unexpected developments were forthcoming for Yichan. Once the three segments of the nameless mantra brightened, they suddenly converged entirely, forming a strange rune, which shot directly towards Yichan's forehead. Yichan felt a peculiar object enter his body, and the next moment, he felt his whole being in a dizzying blur, as if he had entered into some unknown spatial teleportation. This darkness all around, but with the sensation of being teleported, caused Yichan's heart to race with horror. Yichan had heard that the true spirit divine kingdom had no teleportation divine formation. Even 9-star sovereigns and divine masters returning from cosmic sea could only rely on flight to reach other regions. For this reason, he followed the 9 Flames clan all the way to the ancient forbidden grounds to find General Insha at the extreme spirit sea. Now, finding himself in a state of teleportation, Yichan was alarmed, thinking that perhaps the mighty power carried by the mysterious object entering his body exceeded that of the divine master. To where was this immense power going to transport him from the ancient forbidden grounds? As he looked towards the second ancient temple, while Yichan was in the unknown teleportation state, he could see that the second ancient temple was entirely vacant, and Yichan had vanished from it entirely. Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya were the first to come out of the ancient forbidden grounds. After their failure to acquire the ancient temple spirit fire in the first ancient temple, the two departed directly via the method recorded in the temple, instantly transported outside the ancient forbidden grounds. At this time, there were still more than 2 days left until the 1-month exploration of the ancient forbidden grounds concluded, and personnel from the other 2 safe zones had not yet emerged. Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya could only wait outside. The longer they waited, the more uneasy their hearts became. This adventure in the ancient Forbidden Grounds was unprecedentedly different, especially with the separation between sovereign realm individuals and those below that realm during exploration, making them realize as leading figures that both clans might suffer significant casualties. The only comfort was that they obtained many divine objects in the 4th and 7th regions. They speculated that other sovereigns and individuals below the sovereign realm likely acquired divine objects there too, counting this as the sole gain from the ancient Forbidden Grounds exploration. Yet, compared to their failure in acquiring the ancient temple spirit fire, they remained exceedingly dejected. Currently, they had two primary concerns. Firstly, to see how many of the people they brought remained alive. Secondly, to find out which individual below the sovereign realm seized the heavenly forbidden flame, more precious than the ancient temple spirit fire. Thinking about the person who acquired the heavenly forbidden flame, they felt both anticipation and apprehension. They hoped someone from their clan had obtained the heavenly forbidden flame, ensuring the treasure remained within the clan, which would constitute the greatest gain. But simultaneously, they feared that the heavenly forbidden flame might have been claimed by someone from the opposing clan, as they lacked confidence that anyone from their clan below the sovereign realm could achieve this. Who exactly obtained the heavenly forbidden flame? The chosen ones are among those who previously entered the ancient Forbidden Grounds. The two of them knew that the ancient Forbidden Grounds had no other exits. As long as these people acquired it, they would eventually see it. Could it be that an even stronger hidden force has emerged among our clan? Or is it possible that someone exceptionally fortunate has crossed through the 9 domains and reached the end? Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya pondered in their minds. The waiting time passed in a flash. When the month-long venture through the ancient Forbidden Grounds finally ended, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya's expressions changed simultaneously, because they had not seen someone from below the sovereign realm come out from the second ancient temple. It was known that the person obtained the heavenly forbidden flame. Logically, using the method passed down within the ancient temple, they should have been able to come out, right? Now that neither of them had seen this person, could it be that something went wrong? As for that person coming out before them, that was even more impossible. The two of them had left the ancient temple immediately when the extreme heaven divine fire list showed that person obtaining the heavenly forbidden flame. They were afraid that person would come out early, and they used their great divine power at the 9-star sovereign realm to probe around, but they did not see anyone. The two could confirm that when they left, that person was still in the ancient temple. What's going on? With their changing expressions, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya couldn't think about it any longer, because they had already seen two groups of people emerging from the safe zone. The first group was none other than Kai Meng Sovereign and 13 other 9-star sovereigns. The second group was Kai Menger, Kai Shower, and others below the sovereign realm. Upon seeing only 13 9-star sovereigns come out, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya's expressions drastically changed. They immediately noticed the absence of 3 9-star sovereigns. Sovereign Tian Mei has actually fallen. Xuechen and Xuefeng, did they die inside the 9 domains? It felt as if a massive hammer struck the chests of Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya, leaving them short of breath. One must understand, 9-star sovereigns were the pinnacle figures of their two clans. Losing 1 or 2 in such a manner had never occurred in their previous explorations of the ancient Forbidden Grounds. Then, the gazes of Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya turned toward the surviving individuals below the sovereign realm. Upon noticing that many clan members had died and that Shuling Chan and Blood Flying Yen were not among the crowd, Elder Shuya's expression suddenly shifted again. Trembling slightly, he asked, "Do you know who ventured into the ancient temple corresponding to those below the sovereign realm?" Elder Tianhua also looked tensely at his clan members. "It's that foreign divine king who followed the 9 Flames clan to the ancient Forbidden Grounds. It's that Yi Chun. It's Yi Chun." Without any hesitation, the members of the Blood Wing clan and the 9 Flames clan all shouted in unison. In the safe zone, we could see the light curtain of those exploring the 9 domains. The last person shown entering the ancient temple was Yi Chun. According to the light curtain display, the ancient temple he entered was even better than the one you elders entered. Elders, did you obtain the ancient temple spirit fire? The remaining 9-star sovereigns also spoke up one after another. Did that foreign divine king obtain the heavenly forbidden flame? How is that possible? Hearing the voices coming from all directions, Elder Tianhua and Elder Shuya were in utter disbelief. They couldn't even attend to the sovereign's questions, quickly turning their gaze back toward the ancient forbidden grounds. But they still did not see the figure of that foreign divine king. Meanwhile, others present also noticed that the foreign divine king had not appeared. Why hasn't Yi Chun come out yet? Where is Yi Chun? Originally relieved to see their father safely return from the ancient forbidden grounds, Kai Menger and Kai Shower felt their hearts tightening again. The surviving members of the 9 Flames and Blood Wing clan also fell into a daze. They had a thought in their minds. Had the foreign divine king who acquired the heavenly forbidden flame encountered some mishap and died in the ancient forbidden grounds? After all, according to the rules of past ventures, not coming out of the ancient forbidden grounds within a month definitely meant certain death. Wow. When Yi Chun opened his eyes again, he found himself above an endless ocean. Around him, waves of rainbow-colored halos flickered ceaselessly on the sea's surface. Looking at the scene before him, only one thought remained in Yi Chun's mind. Where am I? Chapter 1016- Forbidden Sea of Taboo. Where is this? Yi Chun stood on a boundless ocean, his mind and spirit trembling. Yi Chun didn't know that after he disappeared through mysterious transportation and obtained the heavenly forbidden flame, he caused a great stir among the 2 supreme clans, 9 Flames clan and Blood Wing clan, for not appearing outside the ancient forbidden grounds. Later, when the news that both Shuling Chan and Blood Flying Yen died in the ancient forbidden grounds and the heavenly forbidden flame was taken by him reached the ears of Blood Origin Divine Master, the powerful 8-fold Divine Master even searched hundreds of star continents around the ancient forbidden grounds. When still finding nothing, the members of Blood Wing clan really thought he had died inside the ancient forbidden grounds. The Blood Wing clan sent strong individuals to guard outside the ancient forbidden grounds for several dozen days, eventually giving up. Yi Chun was even more unaware that his continuous absence from the ancient forbidden grounds deeply worried Kai Menger and Kai Shower, 2 sisters who also guarded outside the ancient forbidden grounds for a long time, until Kai Meng's sovereign forcibly took them away. Both women couldn't help but feel worried and concerned about Yi Chun. Everything that happened in the ancient forbidden grounds, Blood Wing clan, and 9 Flames clan was temporarily irrelevant to Yi Chun, as he was too preoccupied to consider much, because at that moment all of Yi Chun's focus was on the new place he arrived at. In his thoughts, where is this? Indeed, he was brought to such a vast ocean by a mysterious object comprised of 3 segments of unnamed mantras. And it seemed the strange object that entered his body had disappeared after bringing him here, making him unable to sense it within his being, which obviously made him incredibly alarmed. Just as Yi Chun's mind and spirit trembled, Xiaojiu's voice suddenly came to him. Yi Chun, take a good look at this ocean. It seems to be the Sea of Taboo. Upon hearing Xiaojiu's words, Yi Chun quickly examined the surrounding sea carefully. Sea of Taboo? When he saw a series of colorful halos appear over the surrounding sea and noticed the ocean, boundlessly stretched out before him, turning from blue to black intermittently accompanied by these halos, and looking up towards the sky, where 8 blazing suns seemed to shine upon this ocean in endless void, Yi Chun was struck with a sudden shock. 8 shas illuminate the sea, sealing off the forbidden grounds. This indeed seems to be the Sea of Taboo he had heard of. The Sea of Taboo is like the ancient forbidden grounds, one of the 8 great forbidden lands of the true spirit divine kingdom. Moreover, the Sea of Taboo is extremely close to the extreme spirit sea, where the general Insha I seek is located. It could be said that the Sea of Taboo is a forbidden land exclusive to the extreme spirit clan. It is said that if you head out from the Sea of Taboo, along the direction of the 5th largest sun of the 8 blazing ones, and pass through an extreme spirit barrier, you can directly enter the realm of extreme spirit sea. Did I just teleport instantly into the Sea of Taboo, outside the extreme spirit sea? Yi-chun was practically shocked speechless. According to his plan from the capital of True Spirit Divine Kingdom to Extreme Spirit Sea, even if taken by the 10,000 Spirits Medicine Pavilion for travel, 1/3 of the journey would take at least several months. And the distance from ancient forbidden grounds to Sea of Taboo is even more remote than from the capital of True Spirit Divine Kingdom to the ancient forbidden grounds. Yet now, after such a brief transportation, he had crossed such immense distances to arrive outside the Sea of Taboo, which naturally shocked Yi-chun to the extreme. What startled Yi-chun even more was why he was transported to the Sea of Taboo, outside the extreme spirit sea. If said that some unknown force knew he wanted to come to the extreme spirit clan, it was basically impossible. There was only one possibility, which was that there must be some inexplicable connection between the Sea of Taboo and ancient forbidden grounds, which is why he suddenly appeared here. Alas, the strange object that brought him here could no longer be sensed, leaving Yi-chun unaware of the reason behind it. Yi-chun could only focus on the immediate concerns. No matter the reason, since I've arrived at the Sea of Taboo, the key point is to quickly head towards the extreme spirit sea to find General Insha. This weird transportation saved me a great deal of travel time and should not be wasted. Yi-chun can't forget his primary mission for coming to the True Spirit Divine Kingdom. The prior 10,000 Spirits Medicine Pavilion operation and Ancient Forbidden Grounds journey were mere side notes, and his main objective in the True Spirit Divine Kingdom is to fulfill the task given by Huyen Divine Master to locate General Insha. This is a matter concerning Yi-chun's life and safety. Checking the time, it's 1 year and a little over a month until the deadline set by Huyen Divine Master to complete the mission. If by then he still hasn't found General Insha, the curse-killing force Huyen Divine Master left within him will erupt, potentially killing him instantly. Thinking of this, Yi-chun quickly recollected matters concerning the Sea of Taboo. Only by understanding the Sea of Taboo can he swiftly exit it. Information about the Sea of Taboo was indeed recorded in the True Spirit Picture Guide, left by the 8 sovereigns he had encountered before coming to the True Spirit Divine Kingdom. Unlike the ancient Forbidden Grounds, where no one can enter freely without facing almost certain death, only the 9 Flames clan and Bloodwing clan have special methods to enter at specific times. The Sea of Taboo allows entry. However, the Sea of Taboo, which is as renowned as the ancient Forbidden Grounds, within the True Spirit Divine Kingdom's 8 great forbidden lands, is certainly not an ordinary place and is filled with immense peril. According to the True Spirit Compendium, this Sea of Taboo has an annual period of extreme peril lasting 8 months, during which entering even the shallow areas of the Sea of Taboo is highly risky. And entering the deep sea during the period of extreme peril is almost guaranteed death. Only with extraordinary luck or supreme dive skills can one safely enter and exit the deep sea during the period of extreme peril within the Sea of Taboo. Due to this, the Extreme Spirit Clan, which occupies the Sea of Taboo, has established the rule that during the 8-month period of extreme peril, the entire Sea of Taboo is restricted. Without a special order from the Extreme Spirit Clan, not even the shallow areas of the Sea of Taboo can be entered. As for the deep sea area, no one may enter. Upon thinking of this, Yi-chun suddenly realized he was currently inside the Sea of Taboo, and judging from the surroundings, it matched the description of the deep sea area of the Sea of Taboo depicted in the True Spirit Compendium. So, is it currently the period of extreme peril within the Sea of Taboo? If it is, then he is in an exceedingly dangerous situation. After all, entering the deep sea during the period of extreme peril is almost certain death, with the odds of survival being slim to none. With this realization, Yi-chun hurriedly discerned direction and flew towards the edge of the deep sea area. As he flew, Yi-chun's heart sank deeper. On his journey, he actually hadn't encountered a single Extreme Spirit Clan member. If it's not the period of extreme peril right now, logically, There should be many extreme spirit clan members exploring the Sea of Taboo. Since he hasn't met anyone, the only possibility is that it truly is the period of extreme peril. So the clan members don't dare to come to the deep sea. Boom! Just as Yi-chan sensed something amiss and had flown out for roughly a dozen breaths' time, suddenly, an earth-shattering tentacle emerged from the ocean below. This towering tentacle, with unimaginable speed, lashed towards him. Yi-chun could sense that the killing force of this tentacle undoubtedly reached the level of at least a 2-star sovereign's combat power. A 2-star sovereign's combat power, with Yi-chun's recent activation of the 2nd star in the star's tower, capable of channeling the golden-purple starry origin power, suggested that he had a chance to battle. However, Yi-chun dared not fight against this mysterious titanic tentacle. This tentacle was deadly at the 2-star sovereign level, but in this boundless ocean, there could be hidden forces exceeding the 5-star sovereign, 9-star sovereign, or even surpassing sovereign realm levels. If he rashly engaged in combat here, it would certainly be suicide. With this thought, Yi-chun instantly activated the changeable divine ability from the Tai chapter at the moment the tentacle reached him, transforming into a drop of seawater and swiftly plunging into the ocean below. Previously, in the 9th region of the ancient Forbidden Grounds, he transformed into a bone fire spirit fish, and even the creator of the ancient Forbidden Grounds couldn't detect his transformation. Yi-chun felt that the killing entities in the Sea of Taboo, especially the titanic tentacle, should also be unable to detect his transformation. Indeed, as Yi-chun had anticipated, as he transformed into a drop of seawater, the tentacle that lashed out at him seemed to lose its target, pausing momentarily in the void before retracting and diving back underwater. Thus, as Yi-chun transformed into a drop of seawater, he also plunged into the ocean. Upon entering the ocean, Yi-chun directly observed the true form of the titanic tentacle that had attacked him. Beneath the water lay a colossal black octopus measuring 1,000 feet, probing the surroundings. And this black octopus, Yi-chun could sense, indeed had a 2-star sovereign realm. What surprised Yi-chun further was that within the surrounding waters, there were countless octopuses swirling, among which Yi-chun sensed several at least 9-star sovereign levels. Evidently, he had entered the realm of the octopus sea monsters. Alarmed, Yi-chun dared not delay further. As a drop of seawater, he drifted with the ocean currents, gradually escaping the octopus territory. Fortunately, the ocean currents in this area moved quickly, and roughly half an hour later, Yi-chun finally exited the dominion of the octopi. Yet, Yi-chun did not revert to human form and maintained his drop of seawater state. After discerning direction, he continued rapidly towards the outside of the Sea of Taboo, heading for the Extreme Spirit Clan. Chapter 10:17 In Linger. Along the way, Yi-chun directly spread his divine sense, probing ahead. When encountering a sea monster beast in front, he would directly avoid it. In places without sea monster beasts, Yi-chun transformed into the state of a drop of seawater, and his speed reached an incredible level. It was almost in the blink of an eye that he had flashed across tens of thousands of miles. Of course, no matter how much Yi-chun avoided, along the way, he still encountered dozens of sudden appearances of sea monster beasts, and the legendary Fierce Outbreak period was indeed terrifying. Almost all the sea monster beasts Yi-chun encountered had high-level 9-star sovereign in their midst. Fortunately, his transformation into a drop of seawater did not catch the attention of these sea monster beasts, and he passed through with some narrow escapes. And as he encountered more and more various sea monster beasts, Yi-chun became increasingly cautious, especially when transformed into the state of a drop of seawater. Flying beneath the ocean, Yi-chun also discovered many extraordinary aspects of this Sea of Taboo. He even saw that many parts of the seabed seemed to hide strange caves. It's very possible that these strange caves contain opportunities within them. However, under careful vigilance, Yi-chun chose not to enter these strange caves, but simply looked at them before deciding to leave directly. Luckily, Yi-chun was not greedy. He did not know that the Sea of Taboo was currently in a fierce outbreak period, and many strange caves inside were in their most dangerous states. The hidden killing force within was not something he could contend with. If he had rashly intruded, he might have suffered a significant loss or even died inside. Thus, Yi Chun continued to fly from the deep sea area of the Sea of Taboo towards the outside. Even though the Sea of Taboo was located in the southernmost part of the true spirit divine kingdom, composed of countless star continent, forming a vast prohibition sea, Yi Chun, despite tireless flight, flew for about 5 to 6 days before gradually emerging from the deep sea area. The shallow blue sea area is one of the 7 shallow sea regions of the Sea of Taboo. Unlike the deep sea areas of the Sea of Taboo, where colorful halos emanate from the surface, in the 7 shallow sea regions, each shallow sea region emits only one color halo, and the shallow blue sea area is a shallow sea region emitting a blue glow. Although it's just one of the 7 shallow sea regions of the Sea of Taboo, the shallow blue sea area is equally vast to the extreme. If an ordinary immortal divine venerable were to fly through it, it would likely take months to cross this sea area. At this time, above the sea surface in the center of the shallow blue sea area, a figure was hurriedly flying ahead, and behind this figure, another figure was pursuing at extreme speed. Looking at these two figures, one could see that the figure ahead was an exceptionally beautiful young girl, with a faint silver water pattern on her forehead, bright eyes and white teeth, charming and alluring, with 2 beautiful silver wings on her back. The one pursuing this girl was a young man. The young man had a faint gray water pattern on his forehead, and on his back were a pair of gray wings that appeared extraordinarily robust. In the pursuit, the young man looked at the girl ahead with a gaze full of malevolent greed, as if wanting to swallow the beautiful girl whole. Linger was incredibly flustered at this moment. She hadn't expected that after finally persuading the branch task elder to agree, allowing her to venture in the shallow sea areas during the fierce outbreak period. And for this adventure, she had prepared for a long time, even quietly leaving her branch clan to avoid others knowing. But now she was being targeted in what should be an unlikely place for others to roam, the shallow blue sea area. The one targeting her was someone she knew, none other than a heavenly divine venerable youth from the gray-eyed wing branch, named Luo Chun, of her extreme spirit clan. Linger, known for being a stunning beauty in the silver-eyed wing branch of the extreme spirit clan, was a top-tier genius among the God-King realm of the clan. She had numerous admirers not only within the silver-eyed wing branch, but also in other branches of the extreme spirit clan. Luo Chun of the gray-eyed wing branch was one of them. In the extreme spirit clan, various branches do not live together, and as someone devoted to cultivation, Linger never showed any interest in her admirers, especially not in Luo Chun of the gray-eyed wing branch, whom she had outright rejected without ever responding. But she hadn't expected that during this secretive outing for a task, under the guise of searching for something in the shallow blue sea area, she would be targeted by Luo Chun. And this Luo Chun, who always appeared extremely proper when visiting the silver-eyed wing branch, revealed his true colors upon their encounter in the shallow blue sea area. He directly tried to capture her, intending to forcibly take her and extract her origin in blood. In such circumstances, how could Linger be willing? Even though Luo Chen's realm was much higher and his power much stronger, as a genius of the extreme spirit clan younger than Luo Chun, she utterly despised him. But while she was unwilling, Luo Chun would not relent. He audaciously tried to grab her by force. Unfortunately, Linger's combat power was less than Luo Chen's, and during this fierce outbreak period, there wasn't anyone else in the entire shallow blue sea area to seek help from. After Luo Chen's attempt, Linger found herself in an extremely dangerous situation. If not for a few trump cards she had up her sleeve, she might have already fallen into Luo Chen's hands. But even though Linger wasn't an ordinary god king, as time passed, she was gradually unable to withstand Luo Chen's pursuit. While Linger was in a panic, flying at extreme speed, Luo Chun behind her grew more and more pleased, thinking of soon possessing the most beautiful flower of the silver-eyed wing branch. Luo Chen's blood almost boiled in excitement. Finally, he even shouted loudly at the Linger in front. "Linger sister, you needn't waste your energy fleeing. Between you and me, I've already set up the Sky Kue Void formation to mask our flight traces. Even if we encounter others, Unless they are of the sovereign level, they won't find us. Moreover, during now's fierce outbreak period with restricted entry, how many do you think, like you, have specifically requested to come to the shallow blue region? Just surrender obediently. Don't worry. I like you so much, I will surely be incredibly gentle with you. Luo Chen's smug laughter reached Yin Linger's ears and almost disgusted her to the point of throwing up. She yelled angrily at Luo Chen, chasing behind. In your dreams, I would rather die than let you have your way. Luo Chen, even though we're from different branches, if you commit this act and the clan finds out, the clan elders will surely let you be struck dead by the Haoyin punishment thunder. My beloved elder Yinbing, in the silver-eyed wing branch, will personally oversee the punishment and will certainly not give you any chance to escape justice. The mention of Elder Yinbing, in Yin Linger's words, made Luo Chen's face change too. But immediately, as if he thought of something, Luo Chen's heart steadied. His face suddenly became gloomy. Humph, now's the Sea of Taboo restricted entry period. By clan rules, except for the resident sovereigns, the clan's other sovereigns have also gone into the Haoyin ancient stream for cultivation, and the resident sovereigns have their tasks. Do you think they'd come to this shallow blue sea area? Humph. Even if I take you by force and then kill you, no one will know. I came out under the pretense of going to the shallow orange sea area, this time. By then, the elders of your silver-eyed wing branch will just think you were too weak and died during the fierce outbreak period, and will never suspect me. Chapter 1018 Extreme Spirit Clan. Luo Chen's words made Yin Linger even paler. The young girl knew that this shameless, gray-eyed wing branch member Luo Chen wasn't wrong. If she died in the Forbidden Sea, no one would ever find out the cause of her death. Is it true that I will die here? Had I known it would turn out like this, I shouldn't have risked coming to the shallow blue sea area for the 9 blue mystical plant. Yin Linger also knew that regret was useless, and in her extreme despair, her mind and spirit became resolute. Even if I must die, I absolutely cannot be humiliated. I'd rather perish in self-detonation than let Luo Chen have it easy. As Yin Linger wrestled with her emotions, the chase continued for thousands of miles. Although the thousands of miles and even the tens of thousands of miles ahead were but a small area compared to the vastness of the shallow blue sea area. Seeing Yin Linger still unwilling to surrender, Luo Chen's face gradually turned anxious. This place is the Sea of Taboo. Even though they were only in the shallow sea area, which was not as dangerous as the deep sea area, continued pursuit could lead to big trouble. Thinking about this, Luo Chen's expression grew fierce. Stubborn girl. Refusing a toast only to take a penalty drink. Let's see how I'll torment you once I catch you. Bang! As his mind and spirit flickered, Luo Chen's gray wings suddenly flared with energy, and his entire being seemed to ignite. He had unleashed the divine power exhausting secret skills to raise his combat power to a higher level. Though Luo Chen was at the superior heavenly divine venerable realm, he was considered a talent in the gray-eyed wing branch, possessing the ability to fight across levels, with combat power reaching the mid-level immortal divine venerable. But Yin Linger, very young, was only at the lower God King realm. Even though her talent was among the best in the entire Extreme Spirit Clan God King realm, her realm was too low, and her actual combat power was merely lower immortal divine venerable level. Faced with Luo Chen using the divine power exhausting secret skills to enhance his combat power, her escaping speed suddenly fell far behind Luo Chen's. In an instant, Luo Chen closed the distance to within hundreds of meters. Then he flipped his hand, and a flag-like divine treasure appeared in his hand. As Luo Chen crushed a spell in his hand, the flag divine treasure instantly vanished, and in the next moment, 99 flags appeared surrounding Yin Linger, aiming to trap her completely within the flag formation. Profound locking God flag. Seeing the shape of this flag divine treasure, Yin Linger turned pale. The young girl, seemingly aware of the flag formation's terrifying power, she instantly revealed a mirror-like divine treasure in her hand. As the mirror divine treasure shone on her, Yin Linger immediately disappeared from within the flag formation, and in a flash of divine light, she appeared outside the flag formation. Seeing Yin Linger still able to escape, Luo Chen's face darkened further, slapping his waist repeatedly. In an instant, 3 more divine treasures flashed out. These 3 divine treasures were a rope gleaming with divine light, a fish spear-like divine treasure, and a net-like divine treasure. Luo Chen first pointed at the flag formation, enveloping the profound locking god flag towards Yinlinger. Then the newly appeared net-like divine treasure covered even a broader area. When Yinlinger again used the mirror divine treasure to escape, Luo Chen seemed to sense Yinlinger's escape direction, sending the other 2 divine treasures, the rope shimmering with divine light and the fish spear-like divine treasure, towards the direction Yinlinger fled. Even though Yinlinger, as a lower god king, possessed heavenly divine skills, under Luo Chen's prepared assault, she struggled to cope. In the end, Yinlinger dodged the profound locking god flag, avoided the net-like divine treasure, and evaded the fish spear divine treasure. Yet she was still bound by the rope shimmering with divine light in the void. Seeing Yinlinger finally caught, Luo Chen rejoiced. He instantly moved in front of Yinlinger. Looking at Yinlinger's exquisite and unparalleled face, which due to anger and fear appeared even more captivating, Luo Chen couldn't help but swallow his saliva, staring at Yinlinger, lights gleaming from his eyes. Escape? Linger's sister. I wonder how you will escape again. Luo Chen couldn't resist rubbing his palms together, seemingly unable to contain himself. Yinlinger, at this moment, was already ashen-faced. When bound by the rope shimmering with divine light, she couldn't escape. With the current situation, to avoid humiliation, she only had the path of self-destruction. At that instant, Yinlinger surprisingly calmed down. She gritted her teeth hard, flashing divine light from her body, intending to trigger all her divine power for self-detonation. As the most stunning young girl of the extreme spirit clan's silver-eyed wing branch, as an unparalleled genius with principles, she absolutely wouldn't allow herself to be humiliated by the disgusting Luo Chen. Even if she should die in self-detonation, she would never accept it. As the self-detonation divine light emanated from Yinlinger's body, Luo Chen was taken aback. He hadn't expected Yinlinger to be so resolute, preferring death by self-detonation than letting him gain any advantage. Luo Chen never expected that under the constraint of the divine treasure rope, Yinlinger still possessed the ability to self-destruct. He tried to stop her, but it was already too late. Just as Luo Chen's expression changed drastically, just as Yinlinger embraced the certainty of death and self-destructed, in the next moment, a soft sigh echoed through the void. Following that, Yinlinger, whose self-destructing divine light had already triggered, suddenly felt her entire divine power being locked up. She couldn't self-destruct even if she wanted to. Even those self-destructing divine lights dispersed instantly. Yinlinger was shocked. She didn't know whether this was the doing of Luo Chen. If Luo Chen could stop even her self-destruction, she would be hard to escape humiliation. Yet Yinlinger had a feeling that the sudden force that locked up her entire divine power, causing the self-destructing divine lights to disappear instantaneously, was impossible for Luo Chen to possess. Luo Chen could not have such a level of power. Could it be someone else has arrived? The power at this level can only be achieved by combat power at the sovereign level. Could there be a sovereign in the shallow blue sea area? Thinking of this possibility, Yinlinger, who was ready to die, suddenly felt a sliver of hope. Even if she embraced death, she naturally didn't wish to die like this if she could live. Yinlinger couldn't help but look towards the direction of the faint sigh she had heard earlier. Next, she saw a young man suddenly appearing in the void, not far from her and Luo Chen. This young man didn't look very old, but his demeanor was exceptionally uncommon, and he was clearly not from the extreme spirit clan. Yinlinger even felt that this young man wasn't much older than her, yet he gave her the feeling of facing a sovereign. The young man who suddenly appeared was, of course, Yi Chun, who had spent quite a lot of time and effort to escape from the deep-sea region of the Sea of Taboo. Yi Chun hadn't expected that after coming from the deep-sea region to the shallow sea area, he would witness such an incident of pursuit and escape. Moreover, the 2 people involved were exactly the ones he was planning to visit from the 2 branches of the Extreme Spirit Clan. especially this little girl being pursued. Yi-chun immediately discovered she was from the Silver-Eyed Wing branch, where the General Insha belonged. Back in the Demon Tomb, Yi-chun had heard from Huyen Divine Master that the Extreme Spirit Clan was divided into 7 major branches. They included Huyen Divine Master's former Heavenly Eye Wing branch, General Insha's Silver-Eyed Wing branch, and the Black-Eyed Wing branch, Gray-Eyed Wing branch, Ice-Eyed Wing branch, Thunder-Eyed Wing branch, and Green-Eyed Wing branch. Yi-chun further learned from the True Spirit Atlas given by 8 Sovereign that, unlike the Bloodwing clan or the Nine Flames clan, where the clans united as one, although the Extreme Spirit clan was one of the 5 supreme clans, each branch was involved in countless disputes and occasionally even erupted into internal frictions. Yi-chun had never expected that upon exiting the Sea of Taboo, he would witness such a pursuit between 2 major branches. While Yi-chun was observing Yinlinger and Luo-chun had already trapped Yinlinger. Seeing Yinlinger preferring to self-destruct rather than be humiliated by Luo-chun, Yi-chun could not stand by and do nothing. He couldn't just watch as a young girl like Yinlinger died because of such a situation, especially since Yinlinger was from the same branch as General Insha. Yi-chun's combat power was extraordinary, and he could even stand against 2-star sovereigns if calculated truly. In the instant he took action, he directly bound Yinlinger's divine power and dispelled her self-destructing divine light. Yi-chun's sudden appearance saved Yinlinger, but it startled Luo-chun immensely. "Who are you?" Luo-chun was shocked to the extreme. Logically, he had used the Sky Kue Void formation to obscure both him and Yinlinger, making them undetectable by anyone below sovereign level. Now, this young man, who seemed much younger than him, suddenly appeared and effortlessly saved Yinlinger, who was about to self-destruct. Luo-chun had an incredible thought. Could it be this young man, who appeared younger than him, was actually a great power holder in the sovereign realm? "Who are you?" In a state of shock and terror, Luo-chun couldn't help but ask Yi-chun, his voice trembling. Yi-chun merely glanced at Luo-chun sideways. Having watched the chase between the two, he already understood Luo-chun's intentions. He had no inclination to associate with scum who intended to humiliate a young girl. Yi-chun didn't even wish to utter a word to him. He simply pointed his finger, causing a thunderous boom as if Luo-chun was struck by a gigantic force of lightning, instantly writhing and crouching painfully in the void. Chapter 1019 Divine Milk and Insha. With a casual gesture from Yi-chun, Luo-chun was struck and cried out in pain. Inside, Luo-chun was even more shocked to the extreme. He could feel that the young man who attacked him definitely had the level of combat power that he had to look up to, a level that could kill him with ease. Feeling the threat to his life at this moment, his earlier minor desire to possess Yinlinger had long vanished into thin air. At this moment, Luo-chun had only one thought, which was not to be killed by this formidable figure before him. Thinking of this, Luo-chun even disregarded the excruciating pain of the blow and began to plead with Yi-chun. "Spare my life, senior! Spare my life, senior!" Watching Luo-chun, who earlier was gleefully triumphant with his schemes, now crying and pleading on the ground, Yi-chun found himself increasingly disgusted with this person. It's a pity this man is a member of the Extreme Spirit Clan. I need to go to the Extreme Spirit Clan to find General Insha, and I must pass the selection of the Extreme Spirit Martial Land to enter the Extreme Spirit Sea. And according to Huyen Divine Master, the selection at Extreme Spirit Martial Land includes a check on whether any foreign race has killed a member of the Extreme Spirit Clan. If so, they absolutely cannot enter the Extreme Spirit Sea. If it weren't for this reason, then encountering such scum, exterminating him in the blink of an eye would be the right path.
Yi-chun siket inyartli.
Of course, Yi-chun felt it was a pity that, in front of Yinlinger, the young girl, it was inconvenient for him to spill Luo-chun's blood. Otherwise, he could have gathered the divine blood of the 3rd Advanced Life Tribe. Well, there's no rush for the 3rd kind of divine blood. Since I've arrived at the Extreme Spirit Clan, I'll eventually acquire it. Let's deal with this person first. Yi Chun frowned slightly and pointed his finger once more toward Luo Chen. Without seeing Yi Chun activating any divine treasures, Luo Chen's entire body was bound by an inexplicable force into a ball. He could not even muster the killing force that reached the level of middle immortal divine venerable. Let alone breaking free, he couldn't even muster a trace of divine power. After binding Luo Chen, Yi Chun directly said to Yinlinger, "Miss, I'll leave this person for you to deal with." Due to the reason of entering the Extreme Spirit Sea, Yi Chun was unwilling to kill a member of the Extreme Spirit clan. But whether this young girl wanted to kill him or hand him over for punishment, Luo Chen couldn't escape being dealt with. After being bound by Yi Chun, he had no chance of escaping. Yi Chen's actions effectively helped the young girl eliminate future worries. Hearing Yi Chen's words, Yinlinger was startled. This was the first sentence Yi Chun spoke after saving her. And Yinlinger quickly said to Yi Chun, "Senior, thank you, Senior, for your great life-saving grace. This Luo Chen, I'll hand over to the clan for them to deal with." Speaking, Yinlinger even deeply bowed to Yi Chun. It was impossible for Yinlinger not to be extremely respectful to Yi Chun. Yinlinger just felt that the extraordinary moves of the young senior before her were simply unimaginable. The previously formidable Luo Chen had no ability to resist at all in front of this young senior. Yinlinger even felt that this young senior definitely possessed sovereign ruler level combat power. Moreover, this young senior had saved her life. No matter how indifferent Yinlinger usually was to others in the Extreme Spirit clan, her feeling was completely different towards her lifesaver. Seeing Yinlinger being extremely respectful, addressing him loudly as Senior, Yi Chun smiled. "You don't need to call me Senior. In terms of bone age, I'm not much older than you. Moreover, I'm just like you, also in the God King realm, but I'm in the Upper God King realm. Not much older than me? Upper God King realm?" Upon hearing Yi Chen's words, Yinlinger stared at Yi Chun incredulously. Seeing Yinlinger's disbelieving look, Yi Chun smiled and displayed his bone age and realm. When she saw the young senior before her, truly had a bone age only 3 years older than herself and was indeed in the Upper God King realm, Yinlinger's rosy lips opened wide in shock. She had never heard of someone so young possessing such combat power. She had never heard of anyone in the Upper God King realm possessing such combat power. Not to mention the Extreme Spirit clan. Even in the True Spirit Divine Kingdom's other 4 supreme clans, Yinlinger had never heard of a God King possessing sovereign ruler level combat power. While Yinlinger was completely immersed in her surprise, Yi Chun said to her again, "My name is Yi Chun. You can just call me Yi Chun. By the way, are you from the silver-eyed wing branch of the Extreme Spirit clan?" Yi Chen's question jerked Yinlinger from her astonishment. Hearing Yi Chen's question, Yinlinger quickly replied, Yes, I'm from the silver-eyed wing branch. Senior. No, Yi Chen brother, are you really so powerful? How did you cultivate to have sovereign ruler level combat power? Big brother Yi Chen, I'm called Yinlinger, you can call me Linger. At this moment, knowing Yi Chen's age and realm, Yinlinger's admiration for Yi Chen didn't decrease but increased. After all, a senior and someone about the same age having senior-level combat power, the latter surely moves her more. At this moment, the look Yinlinger cast at Yi Chun was already filled with brilliance. If those admirers of Yinlinger from the Extreme Spirit clan saw Yinlinger's gaze, they would surely be extremely shocked, for Yinlinger, who was usually engrossed in cultivation, displayed a little girl's adoration. A look they've never seen before. Even Yinlinger, who normally wasn't much of a talker, had spoken far more than usual at this moment. It seemed she had countless questions to ask big brother Yi Chun before her. Not only did Yinlinger admire Yi Chun immensely at this moment, but the bound Luo Chen beside her was also shocked to the extreme. He hadn't expected that he, a dignified heavenly divine venerable, would fall into the hands of a god king. Even more unexpected was that this god king actually possessed sovereign-level combat power. Where did this god king come from? He is definitely not from our True Spirit Divine Kingdom, as the True Spirit Divine Kingdom absolutely doesn't have such a powerful god king. Yi Chun wasn't too concerned about Luo Chen's expression, but the worshipful look in Yinlinger's eyes, as if wanting to inquire about everything, made Yi-chun shake his head with a smile. Seemingly recalling something, Yi-chun continued to ask Linger, Linger, then I'll call you Linger. I came from elsewhere along the way, judging by the looks. Now is the furious spirit's eruption period of the Sea of Taboo. It's said that during this period, your extreme spirit clan forbids clansmen from entering the Sea of Taboo. Why are you here? When Yi-chun mentioned he came from elsewhere, Linger assumed Yi-chun had come from other areas beside the shallow sea territories, and didn't pay much attention. If she knew Yi-chun had traversed all the way from the deep sea areas of the Sea of Taboo, her level of astonishment would probably increase drastically. Upon hearing Yi-chun's question, Linger didn't hide anything and quickly replied, Big brother Yi-chun, as you can see, I'm currently at the peak level of a lower God King, but unable to break through the bottleneck and step into the middle God King realm. So I came to the shallow blue sea area to search for a treasure to aid in my breakthrough. Although the clan has rules that prohibit entering the Sea of Taboo freely during the Furious Spirit's eruption period, the actual regulation targets the deep sea area. If permitted, one can enter the shallow sea area. Linger's words made Yi-chun nod. He finally understood why this young girl appeared in this shallow sea area of the Sea of Taboo, and why she was being pursued by others. Presumably, the news of her venturing out to seek a breakthrough treasure was known by this young man, which triggered this calamity. Thinking that Linger said she came to seek a breakthrough treasure, Yi-chun's mind stirred. He asked Linger, Have you found the treasure for breakthrough? Linger shook her head in disappointment. The danger of the area where that treasure was far exceeded my expectations. I failed, and on my way back, I encountered Luo Chen's pursuit, and finally met Big Brother Yi-chun. Upon hearing Linger mentioning her failure in treasure hunting, Yi-chun made a slight movement with his fingers, and a small vial appeared in his hand. Yi-chun directly tossed this small vial to Linger and said, I happen to have something here to help break through the bottleneck. I'll give you these 10 drops of divine milk. Linger was startled upon catching the small vial thrown by Yi-chun. Upon hearing the term divine milk, she was taken aback. Divine milk? Big brother Yi-chun, you have divine milk in your hand. Linger hurriedly looked into the vial, and upon seeing that it indeed contained what was known as the legendary divine milk, she was simply in disbelief. I've heard that divine milk is a rare marvel from a divine kingdom extremely far from the true spirit divine kingdom. Our extreme spirit clan elders painstakingly obtained only a few hundred drops, and it's only granted to the junior members on special occasions. Big brother Yi-chun, you're giving me 10 drops of divine milk all at once. This is too precious. Linger couldn't help but try to decline. Yi-chun, however, waved it off and directly asked Linger to accept it. But Linger's words made Yi-chun furrow his brows. The reason he offered the divine milk was partly to help this fateful young girl he encountered, and partly to see if Linger knew its origin. Now, although Linger seemed to know the origin of the divine milk, her words implied that she learned about divine milk through other means, not knowing it was crafted by General Insha's mentor, the Huyen Divine Master. When he encountered Kai Meng, sovereign of the Nine Flames clan before, Yi-chun thought of a question. If General Insha were still within the Extreme Spirit clan, he would surely have heard that divine milk appeared in the Wanmu Mountain Divine Kingdom, realizing it came from Huyen Divine Master within the kingdom. And once General Insha learned of this, it was likely the Extreme Spirit clan would also know about it, and about the situation involving Huyen Divine Master. Now, not only was there no information from General Insha, but the Extreme Spirit clan also didn't know about the connection of divine milk to Huyen Divine Master, assuming it was a mere local specialty of the Wanmu Mountain Divine Kingdom. This indicates one possibility. The Extreme Spirit clan is entirely unaware that Huyen Divine Master created divine milk, and General Insha likely didn't have time to inform the Extreme Spirit clan before something unexpected happened. Thinking of this, Yi-chun's heart grew tense. He could no longer restrain himself and directly asked this silver-eyed wing branch young girl, Linger, I have something to ask you. Do you know if there's a senior named Insha in your branch? Is she currently in the Extreme Spirit Clan? Has anything happened to her recently? Chapter 1020 Extreme Spirit Martial Land. Hearing Yi-chan suddenly mention the words Insha, Linger couldn't help but be stunned. Senior Insha? From our silver-eyed wing branch? Linger quickly recalled the various seniors in her branch. Seeing Linger's reminiscing look, Yi-chan hurriedly said, "This senior Insha was already a 9-star sovereign tens of thousands of years ago. Back then, she even took a divine master from your heavenly eye wing branch of the Extreme Spirit Clan as her master." When Yi-chan mentioned these, Linger's eyes instantly brightened. She thought of a senior mentioned in clan legends. Senior Insha. Yes, that senior was indeed called Insha. Linger's beautiful eyes looked at Yi-chan and hurriedly said, "Big brother Yi-chan, our silver-eyed wing branch indeed had a 9-star sovereign known as Senior Insha. What happened to her?" At this time, Yi-chan's heart was pounding wildly. Yi-chan felt that he was getting closer and closer to knowing about the General Insha. Regarding Yi-chan suddenly mentioning Senior Insha and appearing a bit anxious, Linger also felt a little strange. However, since Yi-chan was the one who saved her life, and the news of Senior Insha wasn't something forbidden in the clan, Linger hastily told Yi-chan what she knew. "Big brother Yi-chan, the rumors about Senior Insha, I learned about them from the clan's archives. But indeed, this senior achieved the 9-star sovereign status tens of thousands of years ago, yet she hasn't appeared in the clan for tens of thousands of years. I've never seen this senior. I heard from the clan elders that this Senior Insha was a true prodigy of our silver-eyed wing branch, even considered a prodigy of the true spirit divine kingdom. The clan was confident she could eventually step into the divine master realm. But it was said that Senior Insha was traveling outside tens of thousands of years ago, suddenly returned to the clan, and after returning, she immediately left, and since then, the clan has never seen her again." Boom! Linger's words made Yi-chan's mind roar. I was right, General Insha is indeed not in the Extreme Spirit Clan, and indeed something happened to her. When the news of the divine milk spread in the true spirit divine kingdom, but there was no news from General Insha. Yi-chan suspected something happened to General Insha, which was why she didn't seek Huyen Divine Master. Now it seemed his guess was correct. General Insha indeed encountered an accident. I heard from Huyen Divine Master that General Insha hurried back to the clan to deal with something after they parted ways. Now it seems, as soon as she returned to the clan, she went to handle that matter, and that matter has kept General Insha from appearing ever since. Thinking of this, Yi-chan hurriedly asked Linger, "Linger, do you know what Senior Insha went to deal with after returning to the clan?" "Big brother Yi-chan, I don't know that." Linger shook her head. Linger's words made Yi-chan sigh deeply. Indeed, it's highly unlikely this young girl in front of him would know such things. After all, she wasn't even born tens of thousands of years ago. Hearing Yi-chan sigh, for some reason, Linger felt a pain in her heart, as if she thought of something, and hurriedly said to Yi-chan, "Big brother Yi-chan, although I don't know what happened to Senior Insha tens of thousands of years ago, there are still some elders from back then remaining in the clan. If we ask them, maybe they know the truth of the matter and what Senior Insha went to handle." Linger's words rekindled a glimmer of hope in Yi-chan's heart. Indeed, Linger doesn't know, but someone important in the Extreme Spirit Clan must know. He had already prepared himself, knowing that coming to the Extreme Spirit Clan might be challenging, and it seems he would truly face some challenges now. It seems, I must enter the Extreme Spirit Clan and ask those sovereigns who know the truth of that year. Yi-chan clenched his fists in his sleeves. "Big brother Yi-chan, did you come to the territory of the Extreme Spirit Clan this time for Senior Insha? However, Big brother Yi-chan, you are from foreign races, so to enter our living Extreme Spirit Sea, you must go through the Extreme Spirit Martial Land selection. But with your strength, Big brother Yi-chan, there should be no problem passing the Extreme Spirit Martial Land selection. Big brother Yi-chan, if you're eager to know about General Insha, I can take you to the extreme spirit martial land now. Linger looked at Yi Chun with her beautiful eyes and said a lot. At this time, Yi Chun also came back to his senses from thinking about General Insha's matters. Upon hearing Linger's words, Yi Chun smiled. I have also heard of the matters concerning the extreme spirit martial land. Since people from foreign races need to enter the extreme spirit sea by passing through the selection of the extreme spirit martial land, let's participate in that selection. Linger, I really need you to lead the way. I actually don't know where that extreme spirit martial land is. A dozen breaths later, Linger led the way at the front. Yi Chun then reached out his hand and grabbed the restrained Luo Chen with a sweep of his hand into the air. The three of them crossed the boundary of the shallow blue sea area and flew towards the direction of the Extreme Spirit Clan. The Extreme Spirit Martial Land is located within an Extreme Spirit barrier between the Sea of Taboo and the Extreme Spirit Sea. Although it is called an Extreme Spirit Barrier, inside it is an extremely vast defensive area which the Extreme Spirit Clan has laid with layers of prohibitions to protect the Extreme Spirit Sea. In a corner of this defensive area, there is a region spanning tens of thousands of miles known as the Extreme Spirit Martial Land. Anyone from other tribes wanting to go to the Extreme Spirit Sea will be brought to the Extreme Spirit Martial Land upon entering the Extreme Spirit Barrier. Every 3 months, a selection is held in the Extreme Spirit Martial Land, choosing those with strong combat power who hold no grudges against the Extreme Spirit Clan from among the foreign race individuals wishing to enter the Extreme Spirit Sea. Of course, foreign race individuals who want to enter the Extreme Spirit Sea cannot move freely there even after passing the selection. Even if these foreign race individuals pass the selection of the Extreme Spirit Martial Land, upon entering the Extreme Spirit Sea, they must join the Extreme Spirit Mission Team to complete certain tasks for the Extreme Spirit Clan to accumulate merit points. The higher the merit points, the greater the respect they receive from the Extreme Spirit Clan, and the greater their freedom in the Extreme Spirit Clan. It is even rumored that practitioners from small clans in the True Spirit Divine Kingdom come specifically to participate in the Extreme Spirit Martial Land selection, completing many tasks for the Extreme Spirit Clan to accumulate merit points, and eventually becoming esteemed guests of the Extreme Spirit Clan, gaining significant status within it. Yi Chun certainly did not come with the purpose of cultivating in the Extreme Spirit Clan. However, he wanted to meet those in the sovereign realm of the Extreme Spirit Clan and learn about the matters of General Insha from them. On one hand, he had to pass the selection of the Extreme Spirit Martial Land to enter the Extreme Spirit Sea. On the other hand, he needed to make a name for himself within the Extreme Spirit Clan so that those sovereign realm powerhouses would recognize him. Only then would it be easier for him to enter the field of vision of the strong ones of the Extreme Spirit Clan sooner. Otherwise, just by relying on Linger to convey messages, the sovereign realm beings of the Extreme Spirit Clan would not pay attention to him, let alone inform him about the matters of the past immediately. After all, the matters concerning General Insha might well be the core secrets of the Extreme Spirit Clan. Upon arriving at the Extreme Spirit Martial Land, Yi Chun learned from Linger that the tri-monthly selection of the Extreme Spirit Martial Land had been more than a month since the last one, and he needed to wait over a month to participate in the next one. Yi Chun then settled down directly in the Extreme Spirit Martial Land to wait. When Yi Chun arrived at the Extreme Spirit Martial Land, thousands of strong individuals from other tribes had already gathered there, including not only true gods, divine kings, divine venerables, but even foreign sovereign realm powerhouses. After Yi Chun settled in the Extreme Spirit Martial Land, more strong individuals from foreign races continued to arrive there over time. The Extreme Spirit Clan is indeed one of the 5 supreme clans of the True Spirit Divine Kingdom, attracting other tribes greatly. The vast majority of those who came to the Extreme Spirit Martial Land were there to join the Extreme Spirit Clan for cultivation. People like Yi Chun, who came for special reasons, were quite rare. During the wait for the next selection of the Extreme Spirit Martial Land to start, Yi Chun began the cultivation of the Eternal God Body Water God pattern in a room he was residing in at the Extreme Spirit Martial Land. Initially, He had obtained a considerable amount of materials for cultivating the water god pattern, and later, the Kai Meng sovereign of the Nine Flames clan gathered the remaining materials he was missing. Yi Chun had long been able to start cultivating the water god pattern of the eternal god body. However, having been occupied with adventures in the ancient forbidden grounds before, he had no time to cultivate the water god pattern of the eternal god body. Now, during the waiting time for the next selection of the extreme spirit martial land, he finally had some peace to cultivate for a while. However, what Yi Chun didn't know was that while he waited quietly in the extreme spirit martial land, news about him was gradually spreading in a small circle within the extreme spirit clan. The events began when Linger returned with Luo Chan to the silver-eyed wing branch, and informed the punishment elder in the branch about Luo Chen's attempt to harm her. When the news of Luo Chen's attempt to assault and harm Linger spread within the silver-eyed wing branch, many people there were furious. If most of the sovereigns in the clan hadn't been away for cultivation in the Haotian ancient stream, making it inconvenient to punish Luo Chan immediately, the punishment elder of the silver-eyed wing branch would have wanted to execute Luo Chan on the spot. And as Luo Chan was detained waiting for the clan's sovereigns to return and handle the situation, another piece of news gradually spread in the silver-eyed wing branch. This news was that Linger had been rescued by an extraordinarily powerful upper-ranking divine king youth. Moreover, this upper-ranking divine king youth likely possessed combat power on the level of a sovereign.